With Dallas.
I am in March.
Okay. We're live.
You're gonna get your license?
Yeah, on the 13th of this month.
Oh, awesome.
Haven't you been riding on the street?
Huh?
Haven't you been like riding on the street?
Yeah,
Naughty boy.
ever since I got the TW, which was a year and I don't know how long ago.
Well, I know you've been riding that, but I feel like that bike you can get away with because like
Got a TW 200?
yeah, like who's
Yeah.
gonna say like it's basically a moped.
You ever watch?
Have I told you guys what's wrong with it right now?
Oh, yeah.
It decided to blow up.
What?
Yeah.
How
Damn.
the hell did you blow that thing up?
Well, this is what happened. Like, I started it, and then I was gonna ride to my mom's house, which is like a mile away from my dad's, and I started riding over there, and then it just went. Like it just like made like it sounded like someone kill switched it, and then whenever I tried to start it, it was like.
What were you doing? Rev limiter coaster wheelies or what?
No, I literally was cruising at like 45 mile an hour, and it just went.
That's weird. I always thought those bikes were kind of like detuned and bulletproof, you know?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it's been like 12 o'clock its whole life, so. Like, it says it's got 6,000 miles, but it probably has 12.
Yeah,
I'd bet
that's like my
that
250.
I'd bet whatever oil circulation system on there is not meant to be in a vertical position for very long.
Yeah. Maybe I can figure something out. I mean, it's under warranty, so it's in the shop right now, like, but, you know.
Yeah.
I like kind of forgot about it. I'm just happy there's more space in my garage.
Moto Tay, he does like stand up foot brake circles one-handed with a TW 200. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I can't do like like the knee in the seat circles. I can do sit down circles on it,
Yeah.
but
I can't.
I was kind of looking at those because I kind of want another bike that I don't know, just something that's like not super fast, like that I can screw around on. Like I was looking at like those older, like I kind of wanted like an older two-stroke, like 70s or 80s, like dual sport, like I think it's like the TS 250s or the TS like 175s or whatever they call them.
Yamaha.
I think that would be so fun, like on the street, just mobbing like a moped looking.
Dude, you know what I thought would be fun? Like a YZ125 supermoto.
I would love one.
Dude, that'd be so sick.
I kind of want to buy like a completely messed up one and do a full rebuild, powder coat every part.
Dude, that would be so awesome. Just like I don't know how you get it street legal, but it would be.
Oh, here it's so easy to get any bike street legal in Michigan.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, you can get anything street legal in Texas, but like, still, I mean, you'll have to use a flashlight for a headlight because I'm not good at that kind of.
That's what I do on my YZ.
Yeah, I have this.
Wisconsin, you have to go through South Dakota if it isn't legal already. It's kind of like, but I really do like. I was actually looking. I found a 2005 KTM 250 XCW, which is their two-stroke 250.
Mm-hmm.
That's street. This guy got it street legalized, and I'm thinking like I kind of want that. That'd be so fun.
One of my buddies that I ride with, he's got a KTM 300 and it's street legal. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys around here. Well, not around here really, but like up north in Wisconsin, because like that's where all the trail riding is.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people up north there have street legal 300s.
Do any of you guys want a CR 500?
Yeah,
because I just found one for $3,500 with a new top end in it.
A guy that actually rides with us. He has a CR 500 that's street legal as well. It's nuts.
One thing that I think, I mean, I've only ridden probably 2 or 3 of them, but the XR650, I've never ridden the XR650R, but I've ridden some XR650Ls and they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
They're just big bikes.
650Ls, dude, those things are turds.
Yeah, the 650Rs are supposed to be
I don't think the Ls are that slow. I rode one. It was just fine.
I mean, honestly, I've ridden the DR650 and the XR650L, and it felt like a 450 to me, but a little bit sluggish. You know?
The R's are fast. The R's is
Yeah.
compared to like a 450.
Yeah, because it's
But
liquid cooled and
Did
everything.
you ride Phil's, Brad, when we visited you, Farmer Phil?
No, I didn't ride his. I've ridden 2 or 3 other XR 650Rs though.
Like you kind of notice it is like it does feel bulkier, but like speed wise, like it's pretty fast. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty competitive in a straight line with my bike, but you can notice like the turn in because it has like the WRs have like inverted shocks and everything, and those have like the traditional style. You can notice like it doesn't whip in as fast as like a WR or like a smaller supermoto.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. You had to like work so hard to make it turn. That
Yeah.
I've ridden them. It's ridiculous.
But like weight wise, I think that's mostly the issue with that bike is like the front suspension and just like the big fuel tank, I think makes it heavier.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, you feel it really in the handlebars. But I mean it has a aluminum frame, I believe. A full
Yeah,
frame.
I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah, because the 650Ls they use steel subframe.
Yeah, the R's are really nice though. Like,
Yeah.
I've never ridden one, but like if I could find one for a good deal, I would definitely get one. Those things are cool.
Mm-hmm.
Single. It's
Hello.
probably dead reliable too.
Oh, what's up, Lee?
What's going on, sir? Just saw the invite and was like, oh, I'll jump in there real quick before I go to the shop.
What are you doing over there? Working on that bike?
Oh, I'm about to go through fucking hell for the next couple days cutting ice bikes.
Oh yeah.
So I got 500 bolts sitting here. I got to sharpen into a Savage point.
Oh, nice. Lots of fun.
That's not going to be a good time. It's going to be the worst video you've ever seen.
Well, I won't
Just don't
watch
record
it.
Yeah. So yeah, what's going on in here?
Just talking ice riding. What else were we talking about?
XR650s, YZ150s.
XR650s.
Bikes versus fast bikes, and
FZ09s, FZ07s.
yeah, I'm looking at a totaled FZ9 to buy. I kind of want the engine to build like a badass go-kart dune buggy type thing out of. But
Yes, I was just talking about that the other day because I've got a spare 636 engine sitting here that I want to do something with.
Do it.
oh yeah, I think
So
the
I wanna
FC9
find-
engine
Oh,
would
I
be
was
so
thinking,
perfect for it.
yeah, like a wreck golf cart or some shit like that would be perfect.
Just make it absolutely insane.
Yeah,
There's this guy I saw online. He has a Ninja 250 motor in his little dune buggy thing, and that thing flies.
Dude, that would be so funny. An FZ9 motor in a golf cart, though.
A couple guys around us, they put like 600 engines in their ATVs.
Yeah,
Insane.
there was a guy I rode with at Bundy Hill, like the off-road park near us. His dad has an R6 in his four-wheeler. Honestly, I don't, unless you're flat out drag racing it. It's like the dumbest thing though, because you can't even apply that power to the ground
yeah.
in any situation other than drag racing.
It worked
Yeah,
really
well,
good in the side by side though.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
On a side by side, they're savage.
That's why they have that new YXZ 1000R. It's the FZ09 motor in side by side.
Yeah, it's basically an R1 motor in that thing now.
Really?
Yeah, it's a tuned down R1 with a sequential shift in it. Is essentially what it is. But I haven't got to drive one yet, but I saw one, a dude out here turboed one. That's the new 4-wheel drive version of it, and that thing is savagely fast. Like, it's too much.
One time I was riding one of my dirt bikes on one of these like trails around my area, and there was a guy that I just like saw out there, and he was literally riding an R6 on the trail.
Nice.
Straight up R6.
It's my kind of guy.
Yeah, I remember like we do bike nights here like Wednesdays and Thursdays. We'll go to like a bunch of different places around the city. And I remember a couple of guys followed us on stunt bikes and they're like, you mind if we ride with you guys tonight? I'm like, yeah, I don't mind. And I mean, just to let you know, like like, we're gonna hit up some off road tonight. So I mean, like, there's ways for you to get around. And they're like, oh no, we'll be fine. And like, I was like, all right, whatever. Like, they got it handled. This dude was on a F4I with a cage, and he's going between trees with us and like going through rivers and doing hill climbs and everything. And we're just like, oh, okay, like,
I took the FZ off road a little bit.
yeah.
It was pretty fun. I mean, it's interesting because like you give it gas and the wheel just spins. Like
Mhm.
you can't really go in a straight line.
Harleys work real well off road.
I mean, they're heavy.
You know, they seem like it with the right rider mod on it.
The rider mod, yeah.
You have a Dynally?
Yeah.
What year?
No 4.
Nice. I actually used to work for Harley Davidson.
Oh, nice.
The current Lowrider S was one bike I worked on when I worked there.
That's
a
my
sick
dream.
bike.
Right
I have a couple friends that have them.
Yeah, that's my dream is to pick one of those up. But I can't test ride the thing. I got to find someone that owns one so I can ride it because the dealer here won't let me go anywhere near their test ride stuff.
It's super smooth, that's for sure. It's very fast with all the upgrades and the 110.
Yep.
It just rips and it looks sweet.
Last year, I walked up to sign up for the big demo day thing where everyone can go ride everything, and they just laughed at me and said, "Go home." But
they
knew what they were getting into.
like, oh, you have a YouTube, and then they look at it and they're like, no, this guy is not riding. We're totally gonna lose our insurance policy with you.
I showed up on my bike and like half the fenders dragged off on the back and stuff. And they're just like, "Yeah, no, you're not trying any of
They
these."
just judge you based off of that.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. One day they'll learn to like me.
So Lee, people have been telling me that. Well, I think for myself as well, but a lot of people have been saying I definitely need to come out and ride with you.
Yeah,
and we need to hit some FMX jumps together.
we could do that. I've got the stuff. I don't have a dirt bike right now, but I'm actually working on that tomorrow, I think.
Awesome.
Where are you from?
Yeah.
There may or may not be a KX 450 in my future.
Hell yeah.
So hopefully if that goes down, then I'll be set up to ride some freestyle again and some natural terrain and all that this year. So I'm super stoked for that, hopefully.
Sweet.
But
Awesome.
hell yeah, man. I've got the spots up here, that's for sure. You look like you got some sweet spots to ride down there for natural stuff, but we definitely got no shortage of FMX style setups up here because it's flat and boring.
Yeah,
and
we've
really
got
nothing else.
nothing. We got a lot of trails, but we have nothing for. I mean, even motocross is kind of hard to come by, like good motocross tracks in Michigan.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, up here, shit. It's from where I'm from. It's actually pretty impressive. The motocross scene here. There's probably, I would say, 15 like solid tracks, and then I couldn't tell you how many people I know that have like full blown freestyle setups in their yard, like full courses with multiple ramps. There's probably
awesome.
at least 10. There's like 10 of those within an hour of my house.
Do you have any supermoto tracks near you guys?
No,
Okay. I was gonna say-
that's one thing that didn't catch on up here like at all. Really, like the guys that do the track day stuff. There's I don't know, a very small handful of them that ride supermotos. Like I'm going to say 5 or 6 tops.
Yeah, I feel like that's only a big thing around me. I don't know, like you go to Road America, Elkhart Lake, because they have like the big track, and then they have a smaller. They call it the Motorplex. The Motorplex, which is like their go-kart track and supermoto track they share. And I mean, they have track days at least twice a week. You know, going on from like May all the way till like October. And like you can go there on a Wednesday, like they'll have it on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and you'll at least have a group of like 10 people at minimum, which is pretty fun.
Yeah, we got like our track it's kind of a piece of shit, to be honest. We only got one road course here, and it's really, really bad. But even for supermotos, like it's way too fast of a track kind of thing. So I think that's kind of what's holding people back. But actually, we've got mini supermoto is massive up here. Like the big go-kart track in the city lets every Sunday there's probably 30, 40 guys in there with little mini bikes full blown set up for supermoto, and they're just dicing it out. It's super awesome.
Yeah, it looks like a ton of fun. I definitely want to get like a little pit bike, like a CRF 50 or 70 or something, and
Get a 110.
mob 110.
Yeah, those things are fun.
I like the small though. I don't know.
The 110, the thing
Do
with
those
the
have
50
clutches,
is too small.
Are they all automatic?
You can get a clutch one.
Yeah, they're all centrifugals.
The
You can get a kit for it to turn into a manual, but right off the floor, they're centrifugal
yeah,
clutches.
well, Kawasaki, they have a KLX 110, and then they have the 110L, and that one comes with a clutch.
Yeah,
I think it would be fun to like ride that to the liquor store and just pop wheelies everywhere and go to all my friends' houses around the neighborhood.
Yeah,
that's what my mini bike's for.
Turkey Neck used to have a CRF 50, and that thing was street legal.
We have like a 50.
Like,
we have a 50 crew here in Milwaukee. It's really small, but like you get a group of like 10 guys or whatever, and
there's probably
ride around the whole
5 or 6 of us.
They'll ride all the way
ride
from the suburbs down into like downtown area, like on a Saturday night. Go past all the bars doing wheelies down the street. And, like,
yeah,
and just like turn their head and shake their head. You're just like, yeah, whatever.
that's what we do too. Is like we'll ride everywhere, and like the cops don't even do anything anymore because like they'll turn their lights on, and all of a sudden like everybody scatters across everybody's yards, and they're not gonna get anybody. So they just stop trying.
That's hilarious.
Brad, so what's up with this?
It's funny on mine because my bike's so unassuming. It's what my main mini that I ride. I do that stuff with the 1969 Honda Mini Trail that I put a big bore 90 in and stuff, and cam and all that, and like it actually rips, but it looks like a vintage old mini when it hauls ass, so it's kind of funny.
That's awesome.
What were you asking, Max?
Brad,
What?
what's wrong, or what's up with that whole counterfeit thing that you have going on?
Oh, it's just people on freaking Teespring that like screenshot my design and put it and make a new campaign and try and sell my design, but I don't think they've had success because it always gets shut down.
Yeah.
It's my awesome peeps out there on the interwebs catching it and then letting me know. So
It's pretty cool, man.
yeah,
That's what it's like to be famous, huh?
I don't know.
So
It's like
how many randos did you get coming up to you at the motorcycle show?
I meant like
Not randos, fans.
yeah. I was gonna say I don't know if I it's random. It's like that sounds like such a like demeaning thing. It's like they're all nice people. I met like probably like 6 different people.
Yeah.
And then there's like a whole family. It was like 2 brothers and like one of their friends, and then like their mom and dad, and they all watched my videos like as a family. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I mean, I don't have a lot of subscribers, but I mean, like, I'll go to like a motorcycle meet, or like I was out ice racing, and some kid on an ATV when I was out on the ice was like following me and everything.
Yeah.
And I finally stopped, and he came up to me. He's like, "Oh, are you Motard Tony? I watch your YouTube." I'm like, "Oh, cool, a fan." It feels like I feel good.
Yeah, it's cool. I love meeting
It's
people.
fun meeting random people, like just because I mean, with riding, like you don't really care, like where they're from. It's just
Right.
enjoy the same thing. You're gonna ride with them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
You were trying to go really deep with that statement, and then you kind of
butchered it.
trailed off into like I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's funny when I get that sometimes, like when people with like families, I guess, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we all watch your videos together," and I'm like, "Are you sure you want your kids watching that? Because like, have you heard how I talk?"
Yeah.
I always say like whenever I see kids, because they're like, "Oh yeah, I want one of those so bad," but I'm like, they're so expensive. I'm like, well, you got to stay in school and get good grades, and you got to find a trade or maybe go to school and make good money, and don't get in trouble because you won't be alone one of these. And then then they listen. They're like, okay, like asking me questions. It's like that's
That's happened to me a couple times now. And now I'm like consciously like trying to limit myself to one fuck per video.
I'm like trying to like mentor them and tell them to like do good things, and here I am doing like scrapes in front of grandmas driving Toyota Priuses downtown Milwaukee, like giving them heart attacks. And
Do you ever find that the grandmas freak out, hit their brakes, and like pull over and shit?
I don't know. If I see an old person, I try not to like scare them or something. I try not to scare people, like kids or like family that are on the street. But like, yeah, sometimes you run into people that just completely freak out and they like pull over or they like frantically move their car. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the thing that always cracks me out. That people that are like that, they're like, wheelies are so dangerous, and then they're pulling their phones out and like recording you and like paying all attention. It's like, just keep going, freaking get out of the way. They're like,
right?
You could crash and hit my car. It's like, well, if you're so concerned, you wouldn't be riding right next to me.
Yeah, no, that's happened a lot where it's like there's a person next to me that's filming me on their Snapchat, just keeps reloading their Snapchat, and they're filming me. They're just looking at me the whole time. They're not paying attention to the road at all. I don't know what's more dangerous, me doing the wheelie or them Snapchatting me.
Yeah,
Sometimes I think it's the traffic doing that shit that is definitely more dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I try not to do wheelies around cars just because I know it does piss people off, and like I'm not trying to be a total dick.
Unless you're in the hood. Oh,
they don't care there.
Yeah, that's another story. In the hood, you can get away with anything. They're just pumped on that shit.
Yeah.
That's usually where I keep my wheelies too, because otherwise, if I'm wheeling anywhere else, people tend to fucking lose their mind because they're not used to seeing a Harley doing it. So, and it's not losing their mind in a bad way, but they'll like all of a sudden they're just not watching where they're going, swerving all over the road, or like letting off the gas and fucking I'm almost rear-ending them or some stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
Right? No, I get people even just trying to pass them and they slam on their brakes, and I'm like, damn it, I have a plan. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't change what you're doing, because that's when shit gets fucked up.
Right. I think we've talked about this plenty of times before, because I know that like I've said like I know that like most wheelies can be controlled more than some people ride normally, you know?
Yeah.
well, they don't understand because when they see you doing a wheelie, they're not used to seeing that. Like you're used to just doing it all the time. I mean, how often have you been driving around in the city and you see people like doing wheelies and stuff like that?
You don't. It's people in your group, and you never see it otherwise.
Yeah.
So like people never come in contact with anything like that, and they don't know what to think. They think you're gonna crash. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, it's no good unless somebody's seen it before. Or
No, it's like
or they
it's
ride
totally
themselves.
It's like I would trust Tony to circle wheelie around in a box of my parked vehicles, cars and stuff, than your average rider trying to circle around between those, like with both wheels on the ground. Like that's the honest fact. A lot of people who ride can't even turn their bike around, and it's not like to put them down. It's just kind of like fact. It's like that's not something you really practice unless you're like, hey, I need to go practice this. Which most riding situations, you don't have to make sharp turns and react quickly. You hold the throttle and stay steady. I mean, I don't know.
Unless you're riding a two-stroke through Baltimore.
Yeah.
You're changing lanes and going down different streets and swerving all over the place. Man, that's wild.
Oh.
Oh,
At least we wear helmets.
So apparently my Teespring, that fake Teespring campaign did not get shut down, and there's like 2 hours left on it. So I really hope no one.
You can email them because somebody did that for my T-shirts before.
Yeah, it's happened to me before too, and I like reported it as a counterfeit campaign, and I emailed support, and they emailed back and said like file a claim, and I'm like, I already did, and they haven't responded. So
They have live chat. Well, you should be like, well, then give me the proceeds. Or whatever.
Well, right. I mean, if that's what it comes down to, that's what's going to happen. But the stupid thing is, like, they copied my shirt, and it doesn't even have BeRAD on the front. It's just got the logo on the back.
It's so they make more money.
Yeah.
People did that
Really?
with mine too, except all the colors were screwed up. And they did like a they did like a red shirt, so like the red lettering didn't even come out.
Yeah, that's the funny thing too, is they put like a green shirt option, like a green hoodie option with like a blue logo. Like, it's the most hideous thing I've ever seen.
See, I don't think it's technically like like a fan or somebody that knows you. I think it's all random. I think just people go on there and like steal people's designs and then try and sell them right next to them.
Yeah, I either think it's that, or it is like a young fan who doesn't understand what they're doing, and that's why I try not to get like super defensive about it, like publicly, because although it's really frustrating, like maybe like some
They
little
don't
kid
understand that they stole someone's shit trying to
Right,
make a
they're
profit.
they're like, oh, BeRAD would love this because I want more of his shirts to get out there. I'm supporting him. It's like, well, no, that's not how it works. Sorry. But
Well, maybe that's what they need. If it's the same person and they're a young kid, maybe they just don't have enough, I guess, discipline in their life, and you need to get shitty. Just saying, some kids don't learn.
yeah, I mean, like I always make it clear. I just like I try not to be like, oh, you effing loser, f you.
She's
you
trying
know?
to tell you to beat them.
Huh?
You need to beat them.
Yeah,
Beat the children.
BeRAD.
Show up to the door and knock them out.
Take them in your van and beat them.
Man, taking anyone in my van would be a freaking gift. That thing's luxurious now.
I want to get in your van.
I'll let you in my van.
Hell yeah.
Another month or so. Just
Dude.
be patient.
My freaking I was like, damn, I really don't want to like pay for a hotel. I realized I remembered my grandpa lives in Dallas and he literally lives 5 minutes away from the ride spot.
Well,
Meetup
perfect.
spot. I'm like, hell yeah.
Oh, I'll probably sleep in my van at what the hell is it, Maxim? The
Yeah.
meet. Yeah, like sleep in the parking lot overnight.
They're gonna think you're gonna rob them or something. Like they're gonna see like a black van. Just
Well, I don't know.
Just put a poster.
It
Put a
depends.
poster
Like,
on the side that says free ice cream and naps. No one will bother you then.
Dude, have you put a mini fridge in it yet?
I've got it. It's not. I mean, I have the fridge. It's not installed because I haven't finished.
Hell yeah.
I have to powder coat my bed frame and all that. But yeah, it's gonna have hookup. It's a refrigerator, but you can also use it as a heater too, like an oven kind of.
Nice.
So it's pretty sweet.
Okay, so wait, I have a question. So do you have to take the stuff out that's supposed to be cold to then make it warm?
Huh?
Like, does it heat and make things cold at the same time, or
Well,
do you have to take like cold
insulation-
things out to make it warm?
Insulation works both ways. So if it's hot out, and I cool the inside, it'll keep it cool for longer. If it's cold out, I can also keep heat inside longer. So it.
A refrigerator oven? That doesn't make sense.
I thought you were talking about like the.
Like, it doesn't do both at the same time.
No,
You have to
it's separate.
remove
You'd have to take your cold items out and then heat it.
No,
Yeah.
you don't even have to remove your. You don't even have to remove your chicken tenders, your frozen chicken tenders. You can just
Yeah, you just click it over to warm.
go burn through the plastic.
Hey, now, quit ruining
Don't
our.
worry about the plastic pieces. They're not that cancerous.
Might as well go to McDonald's.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of neat because if they're freezing temperatures, you can keep your shit from freezing.
Sounds like a good idea to get diarrhea on the supermoto ride. There's always that one guy that has to poop very, very badly.
Oh god.
You ever have the farts or the craps and then you're riding? That's like
Yeah,
the
shit
worst
myself
feeling
before.
ever. I remember because like usually it's like, yeah, it's Supermoto Sunday. So, most people are going to go out and have fun, on Saturdays or whatever. Saturday night, they're out with their friends. So people show up to the ride hungover or feeling like crap.
Yeah,
And
so
that's the worst thing is when you're jumping, you're going off jumps, you're off-roading, and you're,
yeah.
yeah,
So,
it doesn't
one of
agree.
these days, like one day, I took, well, she's my ex-girlfriend now, but I took her out on a ride one time. We went out on the trails, and literally like a mile down on the trails, because there's like trails like right behind my house pretty much. And we took off, and we were cruising, and I fucking shit myself.
Oh.
Like I hit like a bump, and it was like just enough to like push out a fart, and it was like, I was like, oh my fuck. So I was like, do I keep riding, or do I tell her I shit myself or what? And I was like, oh shit, I forgot something. So I just rode back.
Oh my God. Dude,
That's probably the best response.
since we're talking about poop stories, I'll tell a good one. So I spent 14 days in Morocco with one of my professors. It was like a course that I took for photography.
Mhm.
And we camped out in the desert, like the Sahara Desert. It sounds crazier than it actually was, but it was kind of cool. Like we're just in the middle of sand dunes camping in like huts. And I had this like soup, and the water must have been tainted because like the next day it was just like I wanted to throw up. I had like the shits. So we're out like traveling. We're like in our like touring bus thing. And we're like walking around the city taking photos, and I'm like, dude, I gotta go. I can't hold it any longer. So like you can go up and pay people to use their bathrooms. Like they don't have public restrooms, they're all private. So I gave this guy like freaking who knows how many USD it converts to. Not much, but I paid this guy. I go in this little room, and it's literally a straight up hole in the ground, like about that big. And I'm like, there's no way I am making it into that little hole. So I just like sat in there. I just like stood in there for 3 minutes, and then like walked out and was like, thank you. It was the worst ever.
Yeah, I can't say I've done that, but I've definitely puked in my helmet more than once before.
Oh God, why?
Both
Multiple
times were, yeah, oh yeah, both times were racing motocross the day after a night of drinking. It was probably a bad idea. One of them, I puked on the guy on the. Oh, like I puked on the guy on the starting gate beside me, and then I puked again afterwards. It was like we went out. It was an arena cross race. We, I don't know. We went out the night before, and like I don't know. I just lost it. Whatever. I wasn't there to really do much, anyways. And the pro class had an empty, like half empty gate in the morning, and I was like, shit, I got my bike here. I was like, let's do this. Signed up for the thing, and 30-second board went up, and all of a sudden I started getting those spins. It was like, oh no. And then puked all over the guy's boot next to me and whatever. And then he started puking because I puked on him. And then gate dropped. They didn't slow down nothing. Gate dropped. I pulled like the most massive hole shot of my life, led the first lap, and then like pulled over and just puked the rest of the race because I was just done for. I think I slept for like 2 hours the night before, and that was about it. And another time was actually non-drinking related. I just had some bad sausages at the concession stand in the morning or something.
You know, I did kind of crap my pants when I was in Branson at the national supermoto meet. It was god awfully hot there. Supermoto can vouch for me because he was there. It was that weekend, that long weekend we were there from, I think it was Wednesday night to Sunday. It was over 100 degrees.
Jeez.
So, I mean, like, you don't want to wear shorts because you're doing a ton of, like, riding everywhere. And, you know, like, the whole weekend I just wore my Icon vest, like, at minimum as far as gear. And then a helmet, obviously, which every time I would take it off would be soaked. But it came down to a point where at the end of every ride, I was showering at least, like, 3 times a day because I would soak my pants with sweat.
Yeah. Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
We went to like a Denny's or something down the road after we just had a long ride in like 100-degree weather. Oh man, dude. I think like half of the people in the restaurant just like got up and left because we smelled so terrible.
Dude, I'm gonna be screwed. Like,
Combination of sweat, piss, mud.
I'm gonna be screwed when I make it to like SoCal out in the desert riding with like Dana and Joey Mack and stuff. It's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be so hot. Oh,
Yeah,
well.
that's gonna suck balls.
Like-
being used to our
Yeah,
kind of
like
climate.
I like trail riding when it's 50 degrees out. That's like perfect.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
dirt bike temperature.
Perfect weather here.
I can't stand riding when it's hot out, man.
Yeah.
Like riding when it's hot, it's the worst thing in the world. I won't even do
Yeah.
it half the time.
Mhm.
Dude,
When I was doing
85
the big
degrees.
woods ride, up in Wisconsin, up like northern Wisconsin, that was back in late September. It was pretty nice. It was like 50 degrees during the day. But honestly, like when you're like in those trails and struggling, it literally felt like with the sun beating on you, it felt like it was 100 degrees, but it wasn't. I couldn't imagine
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
when it's like
Oh,
90 or 80 or 90 degrees. It would just kill you. Kill you. And your
yeah.
body.
I did a woods race once, and it was like 100 and I don't know, like 104 or some shit like that. And it was like racing inside of a sauna because of all the trees and stuff. And like, oh, it was the worst thing ever. Half the field didn't even finish because people were like dropping from heat exhaustion and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, that whole weekend when we were in Branson, I wore a camelback and like was constantly drinking water.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I
that's
couldn't.
the only way. Like that's the only
That's the
way
only way
to
to survive.
survive.
Yeah, especially if you're moving and you're still doing stuff like racing or something where you don't really have the choice to take a break or something. Like you're
Yeah.
dead without your camelback in a woods race.
I get exhausted like very quickly, so I have to like consistently drink water.
Pussy.
Max
I feel it-
don't need no water.
I fill it with Miller High Life.
Water.
Speaking of Miller High Life, I'll be right back.
Max fills his camelback with the tears of his haters.
I fill it with my fucking piss. I'm Bear Grylls.
Just piss in your camelback.
I drink
Circulate.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's this going on
This
over
is
here?
this is what I threw in my camelback.
Oh, you pussy! You don't.
Miller High Life.
Bet you're gonna put that to the side and be like, oh, it's fucking gross.
Yeah.
What a pussy. I got one of those shirts that you can fold and it says send nudes. I wore it to school.
Any teacher that asked what it
No
was?
cussing.
Yeah. My geometry teacher was like, so what
I
did your
saw
shirt
that.
mean? I said it, I love my mom backwards or something like that. And she's like, well, I'm glad you love mom. Little did she know. I made it on Twitter. I got like 150 retweets from some chick. Felt like
Yeah.
good.
So how many moto pictures do you have on your Tinder profile?
Me?
Bro, first one is straight up a 1 o'clock scrape on a Harley. You know that's landing. That's landing some right swipes right there.
You hear people saying Crimea River. That's fucking cooch. Fucking.
Hey, okay, you've used your amount of
There's children on.
I was trying to figure out what words to use, but I gave up. It's okay.
You exceeded the fuck limit.
There's no such thing.
Stop
the BeRAD channel doesn't promote such nonsense.
What do you mean?
We keep it PG-13 here with an occasional R rating if the situation gets real serious.
I prefer NR.
You sent me an invite. You're a brave soul.
I know, right? Me too, with my mouth.
Between my mouth and my stories, it's just like the worst thing ever.
I think Drunk
Wow.
Shade Tree is probably the worst though because he just goes on and on. He just takes off when he's got something to say.
Like a rocket.
Oh, yeah.
Me?
At least he's interesting about it though.
Yeah. Oh, I don't mean the worst in a bad way. I mean like the worst in an entertaining way. Just most explicit, I should say. He would be here if he wasn't working.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, just talking counterbalancer stuff.
Trump's tweeting transvestites.
Hey Brad,
So
when you come to Texas, didn't you say you're gonna go to Houston or whatever?
I mean I'd like to go to Houston, Austin, and Dallas.
Well, if you come to Houston, if you just go a little bit more south, there's Galveston, and there's
Yeah, I know, Max. We've talked about
I
this.
know, but Galveston, you probably like riding up and down the seawall. It's pretty fun.
The seawall.
Yeah, it's basically what it
I
is.
like riding up and down some seawalls too. Oh, that was too easy.
Well, there's
Continue.
there's also like the seawall's literally like a straight road, but it's along the beach. It's a wall on the sea. I mean, yeah, but
It sounds awesome.
it's pretty like no, it's pretty cool. Like you can, I mean, like if you go all the way to San Luis Pass, which is like on the way there's some twisties, and then there's like you can drive out onto the beach and fucking ride on a seawall and.
What is this seawall?
Only one person in the chat got my joke. That's awesome.
Yeah, I
I got your joke. You're just doing
God.
it wrong.
I'm trying to keep it PG. I'm trying.
It's pretty great that some kids are never gonna know what that means.
No. Well, they got some kind of new slang for it, I'm sure, but it's probably stupid.
He's talking about pussy, guys.
There we go.
If you don't know what that is, Google it. Images.
Yeah, that's real PG there.
If it's on Google, it's safe. Fine, Bing it. Go on Bing.
Bing. Who uses Bing?
I don't know.
Is that even a thing?
So guys, I'm like 50 subscribers away from 300K. So if you're in this chat and you're not subscribed, you
subscribe.
better do it.
Shut up, faggot.
Ooh,
I'm
congratulations. Peter.
gonna put you in timeout, Max.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just getting a little riled up. These sunflower seeds are giving me a buzz.
What?
I don't know.
I'm gonna mute you.
What do you get when you get 300,000 subscribers?
Nothing.
A bigger dick.
Ruthless high five.
Haha. He doesn't know he's muted. Brad, you're muted. Right.
How can you even mute me?
I can mute anyone. It's the little arrow thing, the little down arrow.
I kid you not. I will eject you from this chat, and I believe that means you can never come back ever.
Yeah, it
I'll
does.
evacuate you from this chat.
I wouldn't do that.
Don't test me.
I'd be upset.
Don't testies me.
Yeah.
So how many away? You're 50 away?
Yeah, I mean the number fluctuates weird, but it was, yeah, it's like 50 to 60 away.
I'm losing
awesome.
more subscribers than I'm gaining, so, you know.
Me too.
Dude, that's what I thought's been happening. 'Cause my video titled "Harley Riders Suck" has blown up recently, and everyone's so butthurt about it.
Man, that seems to be the ticket lately. Like Shade Trees went bananas. His video went so big.
Well, that's the thing is like, I knew. Well, first of all, the title, in a way, fits the video because there were two different. Actually, one wasn't even a Harley; it was like some Kawasaki cruiser. But whatever, it looked like a Harley, and Harley's a good trigger word to say. Harley Riders suck. So I used Harley Riders suck. We're at the Dragon, and they're like, they can't hold their line. They're like blowing turns one after another, and yet I'm the asshole to everyone commenting because I was speeding and I did like one wheelie around no one, and everything I did was totally in control. And I'm the asshole because I'm speeding.
You're reckless, Brad. You're gonna kill somebody.
Dude, I know.
Be
Like, that's-
responsible, not
that's
be rad.
I need to make one of those. I'll just sit there and talk shit about my own bike for an entire video and put like a crash compilation of myself in it. It'd be perfect.
Hey, you know what you should do? You should go on my video and comment back and just talk shit about Harleys, and then people will argue back and be like, "No, Harleys are the best," and then you'll be like, "You're an idiot. Look at my channel."
Yeah, just take a look at my little
That's
friggin' profile.
That's
picture.
honestly like one of the biggest reasons well, first of all, I do not think Harleys suck. But I want to own one. I want to own one to wheelie. So then when people comment like that, I'm like, okay, well, I own one and it's a freaking blast to ride. Like,
It's the Indian, not the bow.
yeah, I don't know, but it's funny how triggered people get from a title.
I like watching people wheelie the freaking full on like
The dressers.
baggers. No, like those like the what is it? I think it's I've seen a Heritage Softail been
Yeah.
wheelied.
No, you're
Something
thinking
like
of like the street glides and stuff.
Street glide, road glide.
Street glides and road glides are kind of been built into wheelie baggers.
Yeah.
Some
My
of them are
dad-
even dynas underneath and just kind of
my
have
dad's
that look
picking
to it.
up, my dad's going to be picking up a 2016 road glide soon.
And you're gonna wheelie it.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I just
I'm
feel like those big ass
I'm going to put some titanium on both of the bags and the fender.
bigs.
Bigs.
Bags.
Yeah, you gotta
Hey, say egg for me. Say
What?
egg for me.
Egg.
Oh, you
Egg.
fuck. Egg. I like eggs.
Yeah, man, I've been trying to get my hands on one of those, but it's hard to find one that's actually like wrecked enough that it's cheap enough for me to buy. Because otherwise, those bikes are worth way too much money.
The Harley.
Just the dresser bikes in general. Like, I mean, a brand new Street Glide off the floor is $60,000.
Oh fuck. What?
That's a lot.
Yep,
60.
it ain't cheap.
I could buy a lot of other bikes for that one bike.
Yeah, like you're looking for anywhere between, I don't know, 35 to 60, depending on the options you get in it. Like one that's like
Christ.
everything you can possibly have, like all the GPS and all that bullshit you can stick in the dash. Like, yeah, you're looking at like 60 G's. It's pretty crazy.
Well, you gotta have GPS so when you're ripping dank woolies down the highway, you can see in front of you past all those fairings.
I mean, my step pops, he's got a pretty savagely built bagger. Like he's got well over $100,000 into that thing. Probably it's ridiculous, but like he's got it's running a 180 front tire on it and stuff. It's super sick. Yeah, a big wheel 180. It's like a 23-inch wheel on a 180 tire, and it's airbagged and stuff. Slams down the ground. But like when you get behind the dash of that thing, it's like you're enterprise. It's got
You need
so many
like a
DVD
heads-up
screens and
display.
shit in there. It's all like screens and fancy stereo equipment and all this crap. It's unbelievable.
It's intense.
Maybe you can answer this, Lee. What is, I guess, the point or any advantage of having a huge Mondo 2-foot front wheel?
Bro.
Just pretty much to win trophies at bike shows, basically.
Okay.
I mean,
I didn't know if there would be
Technically,
any
it'll-
sort of like riding advantage on that.
No,
You can
not
hop
really.
over bitches.
People
I mean-
know you have a bigger dick.
technically it's more stable and you won't feel bumps as much, but
Yeah, like you got a bigger contact
Okay.
patch, so going in a straight line, you're definitely going to notice that. It's going to kind of feel like a Cadillac, but other than that,
So you can put like a 26-inch wheel on your rear tire and do some sick-ass wheelies.
or see those guys that build like the new age board tracker bikes that are building with dual 32-inch wheels on it, front and rear.
what?
Good
I have
lord.
not seen that.
Oh, they look so crazy, man. It's so awesome. Like you'd never be able to do anything with that bike. It's strictly like a ride on flat ground show bike kind of deal, but they look
That'd
so
be
nuts.
perfect for Ohio.
Have you guys seen any of Rusty
Sounds not
Butcher's?
much better.
Yeah,
What's up?
I've seen some of him.
Rusty Butcher, dude.
Oh, I said Michigan, not much better.
Michigan.
Well, it is though. At least to an outsider, the grass is always greener. But I like riding in Michigan way more, and at least this part of Ohio.
Okay.
Okay.
Even given your,
okay,
your
so like,
crappy roads and
you guys on
dickhead
that
cops.
ride.
No,
There's,
we
like,
we
really
have the
fucking
shittier
good roads here.
I
Other
live
than
in
those roads, they all suck.
I would agree that
Yeah, I know,
Michigan
it's
is
like-
more exciting than Ohio for riding, generally speaking.
Why don't
Yeah,
you
I've
just
never
move to
really-
You have to go a good 100 miles south of here until you start getting any sort of elevation changes or a break from the checkerboard of 1 mile country roads. But yeah, it's pretty much like Hankard Road, Huron River Drive, and that's really all I can think of to name up by you. But they're way more fun than the quote good roads by me.
But you love Unadilla.
Oh, dude, it's my favorite
Oh.
town in the world. It's where all my money goes. It's where all my money goes.
Well, if you weren't such a disrespectful asshole blocking traffic, then
Hey, I am a rebel biker, dude. You know me.
You have a vest and a half helmet.
Total badassery.
Nah, I go full squid, man. I ride naked.
I've done that.
Yeah. If you guys come to Automotion in the Wisconsin Dells, we're going to be handing out trophies for the sickest bike, sickest trick, and then also whoever does the longest wheelie naked down the strip.
I'm down.
oh god, that
What?
sounds like another BeRAD injury.
Sounds
Explain
like,
this. Explain
sounds
this
like another trophy.
because
Sorry.
this sounds.
There's too much road rash on your penis. We can't say it. They chop it off.
Oh my god.
You'd have a little fucking Audi belly button on your where your wiener's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Little nub.
Okay. Max is over there like he's in Photoshop like drawing pictures of what he's talking about.
I'm just imagining it. Like I just want to draw it right now.
At least whenever you're off-roading and like you slap the tank with your body, you won't get like you won't ever hurt your private parts.
Yeah, he'll just feel emotional pain, like thinking of what he used to have. He'll just start crying and pull over and be like,
Have you guys ever seen my cute video of me and my Speedo?
Nope.
It's on
so
my
that question
channel.
is going to take a different turn.
I definitely won't watch it.
I'll how do you screen share on this shit?
No, we don't want to do that.
We do. Look at this.
Max, you're not even of age.
Look at this.
Supermoto.
That's
I'm
I'm gonna fucking chat with underage people? Fuck that. Oh my god. What do you guys bring me into?
Who is the? Oh, how did Tori get in here? Who invited that loser?
Whoa!
It already smells. Ew.
Smells like a dirty pirate hooker.
Smells like your mom's fucking pussy.
Oh, we were just talking about the seawall. What a coincidence.
Tori, that's irresponsible. Have you been hearing of all the people on the news that have been live streaming and crashing their vehicles?
I'm a conformist.
Do it for the views.
Are you guys like doing anything or?
We were
guys
until you interrupted it.
Yeah,
You guys
that was
you guys talking about me?
Yeah, we're trash talking Subimoto.
Y'all can see me? Yeah, y'all can see me. Fuck yeah. Which means that you guys that have no fucking video or have no excuses. Why do I
Here,
hear you
I'll
guys
turn
talk
my
about
camera on. There we go. Now my camera's on.
Tori, your noise is really like screwing up this. It's like windy. Do you have a window open?
No. I'm just driving down the road.
Oh,
Is it bad right now?
it sounds like wind noise. Maybe it's just on mine. I don't know.
Maybe it's the AC.
Oh, it's probably because I had it like sitting down. Is that better?
It sounds like you're having sex with a vacuum cleaner.
You can only know that from personal experience.
And the name of the vacuum cleaner is Herbie.
Nothing wrong with that.
I was thinking more of Janessa.
All right, guys. Well, I'm about to be home. This was super fun.
Dirt.
Thanks for stopping.
I was told there was chicks in here.
Erica's here
I'm right here, baby.
and Max.
Erica. Who's Erica?
E Heart.
What?
E Heart.
E Hart? What are you saying? I don't even know what you guys are saying.
E,
said,
and
"I'm
then
hard."
like the thing that pushes blood through your body, that thing, and then the number 3, which is not a letter, and then the number 4.
And he's gone. Okay.
Hey, Brad,
for
are you gonna put
stopping
an LED bar on your van?
Is that even a question?
Because if you are, I have one. If you want it.
Hold on.
Need to just put like,
Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, already got it.
All right, because I was about to say I have one that doesn't fit on my truck, so I was gonna just like give it away.
Oh, I mean, you can send me, like, I'll put more LED, I'll put more light bars.
I can just give it to you whenever you come here.
Dude, this
You
thing's
got those.
so freaking bright.
You got those 2 super bright OEM ones. Those are mounted on the doors, right?
You mean the ones inside the vehicle?
Yeah, the back of it.
Oh,
Are those mounted on the doors or the ceiling?
they're mounted on the ceiling and they're obnoxious as hell.
Oh, I was gonna say you could like rig up some swivel mounts and put them on the doors, so when you're just camping out, you got floodlights.
Well, I'm gonna put one of the light bars on the roof pointing backwards, so it'll
Tailgaters.
it'll work. It'll happen.
I'll be right back.
Man,
Just
that's
don't come
awesome.
back.
I've been trolling the Ford dealer hard, trying to get them to give me a deal on that sucker.
Yeah, probably not gonna happen, honestly.
Yeah, it's tough. Like I got a pretty new F-150 with like no miles on it at all, so I got something to trade in that's well worth it. But they are trying to give me the runaround on that van so hard.
Yeah, I went into this one place and I'm like, so I want all these features, and then they're like, all right, here's your price, and I'm like, you can do better than that, and they're like, no, and then the dude got like angry with me, and he he literally got red faced and like stood up and like started like not shouting at me but getting like real aggressive toned. I walked out of there and bought it like that week from another dealership.
Was that the place we flipped off?
Huh?
Was that the place we flipped off and did wheelies in front of?
Yeah, and dual vlog. That's the place we flicked off.
I didn't want to say the name because it sounds like you're trying to avoid that.
Which
Not really.
which one do you have? Do you have like the biggest version, like with tall roof and full extended everything?
It's the medium roof long, so it's this not quite the longest version and not quite the tallest.
It's the proportionate
was-
one.
The big mammer jammer.
Yeah, I debated getting it. The only issue is like it's already so tall that it hits a lot of tree branches and things, and also
Powder coat the roof.
if you get it any longer, you can't fit into any parking spaces, or basically you can't navigate anywhere. I mean, it's like mine's the size of like a full size F-350 length and stuff, but it's, I don't know, it's a good compromise, I'd say.
Yeah, I just want the space because I think like if I do it, I'm literally checking out for like it's not going to be a little, week or two at a time trips kind of thing. If I do it, I'm going to be gone for a year for sure in that thing.
Doesn't it take you like 5 days to get to the local gas station?
No, I can pretty much throw a rock at it from my house from here. Actually,
You must have
I
a
live in a
strong arm.
Must have a
Yeah, I mean, if you're like carrying around like one of your Harley, then I would definitely take it the longer one. But like for me, I'm gonna be able to comfortably sleep in there with a supermoto and an enduro and all my stuff. Like it's gonna work.
Yeah.
It'll be tight, but it's gonna work.
yeah, that's my plan is to have all 3 bikes in there. So Harley, stunt bike, dirt bike. and then I'm set for
Definitely get
anywhere
the
I wanna go.
full length one then.
Yeah, it makes like that extra 3 feet is a lot because they had both of them side by side, the kind of 3/4 one and the full size one there, and it was pretty noticeable.
Can you fit a bike sideways in it, like an actual like
No,
full-size bike?
it's 6 feet wide wall to wall, and a bike you're looking at 7 to 8 feet depending on what kind of bike it is.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you get a Grom in there sideways, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean you can pack it in if you angle a bike, but then it kind of ruins the whole point of convenience of having a bike that you can easily take in and out of a van.
Yeah, when it takes you an hour to shimmy it into place.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get one of those little mini transits and a 50cc and just like copy you.
Just get a mail truck.
Those things are like super duper. They've got awesome longevity is what I'm trying to say. Like I think the local ones are way older than I am. I'm pretty sure they are nationwide. They're just super old, but they're so simple that they like last forever.
because isn't it like a 2-cylinder or something like that?
It's something like I mean, now you're gonna make me Google it because
I tried to find one on Craigslist. I couldn't find any.
it would be worth it just for right-hand drive. I mean, honestly.
Sweet. Well, I think I'm gonna check out of here and get to work. I wanted to just pop in and say what's up.
All right.
I've got like 3 days of sharpening bolts ahead of me, and that's gonna be so much fun.
We didn't get to spend like an hour talking about turning stuff on a lathe.
I know. We didn't last time either because it was already 4 o'clock in the morning. I could have sat there forever.
We were both like super energetic talking about freaking machining at 4 in the morning.
Hey,
I know, don't even bring it up, BeRAD. Don't even start talking about it because I know you got sitting there. You got like all like my dream stuff just hanging out right behind you. And
Yeah. All right. We'll see you later, man.
cool, man. Thanks for the invite. Later,
Bye.
guys.
Really?
Hi.
Hello, Casey and Amber. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Who's Mister?
Mr.
Diddles.
Mr. Diddles.
It shows as Mister.
Yeah, it's just Mr.
That's all you need to know.
Mr. and Mrs.
You want to know what's after? It's Mr.
Mr. D. You always want the D.
So, Mr. Dibbles and I are going to the Chicago Motorcycle Show on Saturday, down in Rosemont. Are you going to be there, Brad?
No, I already went to the Cleveland one.
Well, why don't you go
But more motorcycles.
It's all the same motorcycle.
No. Okay. Yeah.
It's different.
There's like 3 total bikes that are different. Like the Cleveland one didn't have the turbocharged Hyosung like the Dallas one did, and that's the only thing I noticed.
Yeah. No, I would, but I mean, for me, it's a
Oh,
5-hour drive, and then parking, and it's Chicago, which is just kind of a mess. And I don't know.
You're gonna come back and find your van not up on blocks, but only your rims will be left.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll spoon my tires off.
I have all this power and nowhere to go.
I'm sorry, I'm still giggling at the use of the verb spoon.
It's nothing to joke about. Spooning is a serious matter.
Did you end up recording anything in Cleveland, or just me and
pretty
Cruiser
much
Guy
just-
almost French kissing each other?
Pretty much just your face and that, yeah. Which, by the way, I need your consent. Is that going to be the official Wheelin' face reveal?
I don't know. I've been thinking about it.
You just let me know, because like I can't even make a full video. Like edited down, I probably have 30 seconds of usable footage from that.
The rest is just me making dumb faces and you making dumb faces over my shoulder.
No, that's including all of that stupid footage.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, like I didn't say one word to the camera, so.
I think I saw you in. I had a third-person view of that entire video.
Oh. Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
No,
Do I sell out and do a face reveal so I can be on Brad's channel again?
I mean, are you good looking or what?
He is the hottest man I've ever seen.
I don't know about that.
Well, and I think probably most of the video will be the back of my head anyway. Don't take that. Actually, you know what? Take that the wrong way.
Coleman the Cool Man's pretty hot.
Dude, he's a stud.
He is a beautiful man.
I can't wait to wheelie his Harley.
Cool man.
It's
Cool
gonna
man.
happen.
I'll let you wheelie the TW.
I would like. Yeah, you better fix it in time.
It should be fixed by then. When's
We're
March?
running out of time. We only have we have no more than a month and a half here until I'll be there.
Oh cock! It better be done by then.
I'd hope so.
I mean, hold on. The thing that I like about the TW is it's so light with that 180 tire. It just floats wheelies so easily.
With a 180 tire, that's a big ass tire for a 200.
Yeah, I know. It's got a 180 and like a 130 in the front.
Balloon tires.
The tire is like super thick.
You could say
Thick
that.
with two C's.
Thick.
I think TW200 was the first bike I ever wanted, and that was before I knew anything about motorcycles, and I still want one.
You want to buy one? You want to buy one fully modded, blown up, but it's being
See, what happens when I work on motorcycles is they sit taken apart in my garage for 4 months.
well, I mean, it's being repaired, so you can buy a brand new bike pretty much.
Well, I'm guessing after
With
4
some
months, you kind of start to forget what came from where.
Exactly.
Complicates things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a CR85 that needs a new motor.
Sweet, I can put it in the back of my mail truck.
Yeah. Those 85s are no joke. They're fast.
What's the one that you had or have, Brad?
What?
The 80?
Oh, the an XR80. I have the TTR 90.
Oh, okay, it was the 90. Yeah, I know. I watched Tyler just ripping that around in front of your house. It looked super fun just because he was still so low to the ground.
Oh, it's a blast. That thing's a ripper.
A ripper. I like that video with that chick that just fucking pins that shit.
Yeah. It's crazy. Full throttle.
Full throttle.
Full throttle.
Full commitment.
You give me a bike and I will loop it. I ain't scared.
Next time we ride, which hopefully we can make that happen before I leave. You got to try the TTR and try and wheelie it. And if you loop
Doesn't it not have a clutch?
No clutch.
3-speed?
3-speed. Oh yeah.
That's what my 110 is. But I'm putting a new piston in my 110. Not that it needs it, it's just preventative.
See, that's how stuff gets broken for me.
I don't think I'll ever do preventative maintenance on a mini bike. I'll run it until it blows up.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't really have like 300,000. 50 from 300,000 subscribers to pay me.
That was what, like an hour ago? What's he at now?
Probably less.
Oh, Social Blade!
70 more needed.
Probably over 400K already.
I don't have a freaking WR, a YZ, and a FZ. Wait a second. I have
Social
something.
Blade says you're.
Okay, so wait, can I race you on the FD, Brad? Will you race me?
You mean, will you let me smoke the living shit out of you?
No, that's not what I said. I said race me.
Yeah, like I'll completely fucking blow you away.
Let's do it.
All right, it's on.
All right, I'm down.
Wait,
He'll probably get you to like 130.
Wait, do you have the 600 or the 750? I can't remember.
I have the 600. I wish it was the 750.
Oh yeah, you're dead.
I can change some sprockets real quick.
You're right.
You literally don't stand a chance. But yeah, no, we'll totally do it. That's fun. I love drag racing.
I beat Brad on his 450. I'm like, that was probably way longer than a 100-yard pull too.
I think it was like a 3/4 mile race that you finally.
Yeah, it was probably the last 50 feet where I finally just go zip, right past him.
Yeah, but you have twice.
What's funny? I
have a 900.
That's pretty close.
It's funny.
Oh,
I raced
sorry,
my
we're
friend.
still
Abby.
talking about the 450. Yeah, you're right. Anyway.
My friend Abby, I raced her and she was on her R6 and she's like, oh, supermotos are slow, wah.
On the low end, they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she didn't pass me until we hit 90 miles an hour.
Oh,
which
wow.
is essentially the
That's
top.
like your very top end.
But it was just funny. She talked so much shit. I hope she's listening right now.
I was honestly surprised I was that close to you the whole time because I am terrible at launching.
Just
Yeah,
roll
that's
it out,
my
dump the clutch.
downfall.
See, the
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
about
I'm-
that is I don't want my friends to restart the wheel and looped it thing.
Right.
I mean, you can full throttle and just slowly let out the clutch. That's how you.
That's
stop.
what I do, except I'm an idiot and feather it to like 50.
No, you just gotta like let it out until the bike's like moving fast.
Like, you can tell me how to do it all you want. I know how to do it. I just don't.
Do it.
It's a whole mind over matter thing, and I'm just terrible at riding motorcycles.
One thing I'm still getting used to on the FZ is you don't have to give it any throttle to go. You just give it like you just let out the clutch, and it goes. It's pretty interesting. Because I'll be at a stop sign and then I rev it up and it's just not moving. You know.
You sound like someone who's just learning to drive stick or ride a bike
Yeah, 'cause
and
it's
just
like,
give it a shit ton of throttle and yeah.
I'm
Oh
like,
yeah,
oh,
my
let out the clutch.
my FZ9, you don't even need to give it gas. You just let off the clutch and it won't even stall. Like
Yeah.
starting from a standstill.
The only thing I don't like is like the turning radius is so different than all my other bikes, so I'll always like constantly be like undershooting everything. Like I like just the other day I ran into a bush and like I'll try and turn around, like I'll try and turn like I'll back out of my garage and try and do a quick turn and I'll just go straight into the bush. I'm like, oh well that didn't work.
I just roll down my driveway backwards because it's steep enough.
Yeah. I wouldn't trust myself to do that.
It's funny, like I won't try to drag race or anything, but I'll roll backwards down my driveway without looking just fine. There is no logic.
I mean like I can flat foot my bike, but like I still have short legs.
Let's get some questions going in the side chat. Here are questions that are excluded from being asked.
So
Because
I've overheard that you're going to this Texas meetup. Is that the only place you're stopping on the way there, or like when you get out there, you continuing on, or?
I wanted to take like a whole week to get down there and stop at a bunch of different places, but I just don't think it's going to be warm enough or good enough conditions. I think I'll definitely stop in St. Louis because there's a bunch of people there. Whether we ride or not, I can at least hang out and meet some people. But yeah, I don't know. I'll see.
If you're going all that way, why not just make an extra stop or two?
Right.
Go wherever the road takes him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really all just weather dependent.
Someone asks if you're going to SCMM.
Maybe. Isn't that in like July?
I think.
August. I think it's August 4th and 5th this year.
Oh, yeah, I might. I don't know. It seemed kind of sketchy last year.
That's a long ass drive, bro.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go just for that. I'd be there. I'd spend another month or something out there.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All
Hey,
right.
Super
Someone,
Dave.
when do you get your cast off?
Hopefully in 2 weeks, unless I refractured it, which means I need another surgery. But
Wait, is there something that you
Why do
think
you
may
think-
have?
I don't think
Yeah.
it's just. I don't think like it feels fine. Like I just have the brace, so I can take it off. And, like I got my bra back, and I can twist it and do all this, but it's still.
I like how you put that. I got my brat back.
Yeah, got my brat back. So it's like it's still sore, but
Okay,
waiting
it's just
for
the
you to
way
go
you
like
phrased
this
it made me
and
think
just
you
go
might
on.
have done something.
He's got his throttle hand back.
yeah, when it really hurts is when I do it down here. Like so if I was like picking the bike up, and I was just trying
Switch
to
hands.
Look at that.
It's like doing
Brad's
the doing
Brad's
the
gonna break his
one-handers.
wrist right now.
But I mean, there's with that particular bone, it heals so slowly because there's not enough blood flow. So it is possible that the fracture could have like reopened, and then it would require basically the bone would die out, and it would require another hip graft and surgery. But I think it's okay considering how good it's feeling right now.
Yeah, I've never really I didn't even think that they grafted bone out of your hip. How has that been? I mean, is it?
Oh, the hip feels fine. I mean, it's just a little scar right there, but it's like I don't feel it anymore. It's
I
completely.
mean, comparatively, compared to your pelvis, it's not a huge amount of tissue they took out, but still.
Yeah, it hurt for probably like it felt bruised. Well, the first couple of days, like I couldn't lay on it. I could walk, but not easily. But it probably took a good 5 weeks until I didn't really notice it.
All right. Someone asked, 3 of you can scrape during wheelies. Please discuss your first time scraping and how you did it. Just fully commit or what was going on mentally.
Nut up or shut up.
Pretty much.
Basically, mentally, you're freaking out. You're about to shit your pants, and then you hit it. And you're like, oh, that was easy. And then you keep doing it afterwards.
Yeah, the first time I did it, it was kind of like I just pulled in the clutch and coasted it until the rear end hit and I slammed on the brake.
Mousetrap.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't mousetrap. I just because I have a drum brake, so you can't really do that, you know?
Yeah. I'll put a video link into the chat. This is actually my first time scraping. Let's see here.
Yeah.
It's Voltron, yeah.
For me, it was really smooth because I basically started from just getting it right behind balance point and kind of coasting it. And then you just go back a little bit more each time, and you realize when you start going back further and further, it doesn't get any less stable. So it is just getting over that mental of like the bike is straight up in the air. So as long as you have good brake control for and you can coast a wheelie, scraping it shouldn't be any harder. You just let it fall back a little more.
Yeah, I think that's a misconception too. Is a lot of people, they first start learning they want to learn how to scrape, but before you learn how to scrape, you should really learn how to, first comes brake control and like holding balance point, and then second, you really want to learn how to pull the clutch in. You want to learn how to coast and be able to coast on one wheel with the clutch in, and see how far you can go without putting the front wheel down by having, just precise brake control. And then once you get good at coasting and you can keep the front wheel up with the clutch pulled in as long as you can, and then then all scraping is getting past your comfort zone of bringing it back, a couple more degrees.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, the first time I scraped, I didn't pull the clutch in though. I was using engine braking as well, and that's kind of how I wheelied normally when I only had my WR. But like now that I'm used to riding the YZ, the 2-stroke, I always pull clutch in. Like I'm just even on the 4-stroke, I never use engine braking anymore.
Yeah. The only time I scrape without the clutch is when I'm jumping to a stand-up. That's one combo I do is I hit a scrape on the street. I don't pull in the clutch. I actually cover the handbrake. I don't touch the foot brake because then I can touch the handbrake and then I can jump up to the rear pegs. So that's the only, I don't know. I use it in different situations.
I'd like to make a custom bracket for a drum brake to do a handbrake on my TW.
Just take a freaking bike brake cable and just weld a little stud onto your
I think I might do that.
Brake.
I mean, I can get a clutch cable.
This might sound stupid because I'm a girl or just because I know nothing about wheelies really, but so when you get back that far and you're actually going to scrape, you're not actually using any engine power. You are either in neutral by having the clutch pulled in or decreasing using the engine braking.
You can do both.
It can be either way. I mean, it depends really on what bike you're riding. Because I mean, I've ridden like my 450.
I would have figured that, and I mean, correct me if this is not possible. I guess I would have figured that you were still on engine power, but you were actually controlling it with the rear brake.
Yeah, I mean, you're not on the throttle at all. You're basically letting it you're at balance point and you're like off the throttle and letting it dip back.
Yeah, you're using the engine braking, so you're back driving the engine, not.
Okay.
Yes.
I guess it also depends on what kind of torque your bike has. Like you see those stunt guys.
At what point do you go from the increasing back into the as you're falling back past balance point, then you're coming up onto your engine braking or clutch pull?
It would all be at balance point. So you have to accelerate up to balance point, and then as soon as you fall behind there, you have to let go.
Then.
If you are on throttle at all behind balance point, physically you can't.
You're looping it.
Yeah, you're looping it because you physically can't be accelerating past balance point.
Because I figured that you would be, but countering that with the rear brake. But that's a no.
I mean, I guess you can, but it's kind of stupid to do that because you're just.
Okay.
It's also not as controlled.
Yeah.
When you're,
Okay.
The nice thing about doing
Because I'm practicing wheelies, and I've been wondering, when I get that far, what do I do? How do I control it? Not necessarily to scrape, but just to not loop the fucking thing.
Are you still trying to learn how to use rear brake?
Huh?
Are you still trying to learn how to use rear brake and how to use it while you're wheeling?
No, if anything, I as soon as the wheel comes up, I kind of freak out, and I both throttle off and rear brake at the same time.
Okay.
Well, I think once you get to the point to where you can kind of bring the wheelie up and just kind of ride it for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to get over the fear factor right now, the instinct that kicks in.
Yeah. The two most important things I can do tell you is if you feel like you're gonna loop it, don't throw your legs off the pegs. And also the easiest way to learn to use rear brake is ride a wheelie. Once you get comfortable riding a wheelie or something, just kind of riding it out, just tap the rear brake mid wheelie, just to put it down. Every time you're gonna put down the wheelie, use the rear brake to do it.
Versus engine braking.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, if you're learning wheelies, I definitely wouldn't start using the clutch. Just because the nice thing about engine braking is if you're up at balance point, it's going to bring you down because you have that engine braking. And when you start learning the clutch, a lot of people start mouse trapping because, you literally, when you pull in the clutch, you're floating. It just feels like it drops back faster. You're going to notice it's going to drop back faster, and you're going to just grab the rear brake, or you're going to hit the foot brake because you're just.
It makes you realize how sensitive being at that balance point is. With the engine braking, you feel this constant resistance of the front wheel wanting to come down because the engine is making your front wheel want to come back down. As soon as you pull that clutch in, if you're at balance point, you're either going to fall down really quick or you're going to fall back really quick.
Okay.
So it's using the engine braking as an assist is kind of a really good way to get a feel for kind of where your balance point is and to stay smooth. I don't know anyone who's learned to coast or scrape with the clutch pulled in right away because it shocks you when you do it the first time. I don't know, it feels like you're falling off of a building almost. It's just such a sudden fall off.
Yeah,
It's definitely a gut feeling. You feel it if you're going down a hill in a car or something and you feel your gut drop. It's kind of like a gut drop feeling because you're completely in control of your fate in the wheelie with your foot. So say if you're doing a wheelie with engine braking, you can sometimes you don't even have to touch the brake at balance point. You can just keep it there with the throttle, but as soon as you pull that clutch in, you're just gonna immediately, if you're at balance point or a little bit past it, you're just gonna fall straight back super fast, and that's how most people.
Is that the
Okay,
same,
so now are you guys
the same feel as looping?
What's that?
Tony, is that the same feel as looping?
Yeah, it's a little shit feeling.
Yeah.
But basically, coasting and scraping is a controlled crash. You're about to crash, but you're basically feathering that rear brake to the point where you're not. So I don't know. It's a weird feeling. Definitely
You
learning.
have a lot of control.
Yeah, definitely learning. It's it's really tough getting up to that point. I think at least it was for me because when I was learning how to do wheelies and stuff, I crashed 15 times trying to learn that stuff.
Yeah, you also can't chop the throttle.
Yeah.
Right.
You gotta keep it steady, and whenever you bring it back in, just you gotta control. It's a feeling process. But what I suggest for now is just don't try and even get to balance point yet. Just try and
right.
ride your wheelie out and just tap the brake, just so you know it's there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I said, right now, I mean, I can pop it up, and actually, I mean, everybody says I should not be doing it how I am. I'm doing it on a 2-stroke, so, and I'm dropping the clutch in first, so it comes up real fucking quick.
Oh, so
And
you're practicing more on the dirt bike.
yeah. I have done a couple on the street bike, but like for one, it's really fucking expensive. For two, by the time I like got enough power, I'm going pretty fucking fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
And considering I don't really know what I'm doing, I'd rather fall going slow. And
Yep.
I know I have this freak out reaction. So like I said earlier, really what I'm practicing is to try to not freak out so I can just ride it out for 2 or 3 seconds even before I think about going anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if how many videos you've seen of like me wheeling my YZ, like where I basically start from a standstill, like a foot on the ground.
Uh-huh.
And I always pop clutch no matter what bike I'm on, because to me it's a more controlled way to get your wheel up quickly. So you have that initial like hard throttle and then aggressive clutch pop. Then you get it up and you kind of want to roll off the throttle, but you don't want to go like all the way off and then chop back on. You want to roll off to the point where you're going to be holding it,
where you're catching it.
Yeah.
Right. You don't want to get the wheel up there and then have another kick of like power that's going to send you on.
Right.
It's much safer because you get to a point where you can kind of learn how much throttle you really need to get your front wheel up and a clutch up. I mean, like, if you're doing like a throttle, if you're doing a power wheelie, I mean, like, you have to get to that point where you got to roll back your hand fast enough, and then you got to hit that rear brake to get the balance point. Otherwise, you're just gonna loop that thing out, or.
Well, that's kind of what I'm finding. Like the front comes up so fucking quick. Like even by the time I'm hitting that brake and it's coming down, there's quite a bit of distance already traveled.
Yeah, I mean, I can be going 10 miles an hour. If I'm doing a power wheelie, I might be at like 25 or 30 by the time I'm at balance point. If I'm doing a clutch up and doing it at 10 miles an hour, I'm probably still at 10 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing is you don't speed up. And that's what makes it safe. That too, and because when you clutch up and then you keep the throttle steady if you're at balance point, because it usually brings you up right to balance point. You keep your throttle steady. The power wheelie, I mean, you're full throttle trying to chase it and trying to get up there, and then you got to learn to roll it back. And that's where a lot of people make their mistakes and they loop out is because they're still on the throttle and they can't back off fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what makes it safer, but it's
more controlled.
Tough to overcome. Yeah.
I totally feel like Brad was saying, but I feel like clutch ups are way more consistent because I don't freaking rock wheelies or anything, but I'll pop the front wheel up on my bike, and I started out doing power wheelies, and it was like different every time, even if my speed was the same and I gave it the same amount of throttle. It could either come up 6 inches or to where I felt like I was going to fucking crash because I'm an idiot. But clutch ups is pretty much the same every single time I do it.
Yeah. And like if you go and you try and wheelie your 600, those 600 sport bikes, I think, are probably some of the hardest bikes to wheelie because you have to be revved so high to get the front going.
That's what I was saying. Like I've done a couple.
Power to do it, you're in the power band, and probably pretty easy to overshoot it.
Well, I'm doing about 60 really before there's 50, 60 really enough power. I mean, the RPM's got to be around like 9-10 grand before you hit like the power band.
That's where the clutch pop comes in handy. Because like the first time I ever tried to wheelie a rocket, it was Austin's on his ZX6, and I would put it in first gear and roll about 10 miles an hour and pop the clutch up. You just got to rev it really high, but that's kind of sketchy if you're not comfortable with where the balance point is in the brake, because you're very likely going to loop it at that. And a lot of rockets, they will practice at higher speeds because the faster you're going, the easier it is to wheelie. A lot of people think, oh, you're doing a fast wheelie, you're really good. Like that's the easiest way to wheelie is going fast.
And my whole thing is, since I am new to it, and I do have freak out reactions, whatnot, still. I don't want to be going 60, 70 miles per hour learning
Right.
And I
over
saw-
concrete. So I'm like, okay, over the grass at like, 15, 20, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I saw a question earlier. It said, so is it easier to scrape at slower speeds or faster speeds? And you know what?
Okay.
The thing when you're learning to scrape, you got to at least be in like second or third gear to really, really be able to do it smoothly.
Yeah,
Which
'cause
is
if you go
kinda-
Is it just because
which is
first
kinda
is so
scary.
tall, or
What?
is it just because first is so tall and you don't really have the range to?
First
I mean,
is
you gotta be
yeah.
super-
First is touchy, but when you're at faster speeds, say you're in second gear going like 15 to 20 or 30 miles an hour, you have more forward momentum.
Mm-hmm.
So like you're not really rocking side to side because if you notice like some people that do scrapes like low in first gear, I mean, for me at least in the lot, like when I do one in first gear that is very slow, I can feel my bike dropping to the side.
You
So
don't have like the gyroscopic stability or anything.
Well,
Yeah.
and I think one of the bigger things too is that when you're scraping, you are slowing down because you're on the brake. You're applying brake pressure. That means the bike has to be slowing down. If you pop your wheel up at 10 miles an hour and you get up to balance point and then you start slowing down from there, unless you do a really quick scrape, you're not going to be moving. And if you have no forward momentum, you can't bring the front wheel back down with your brake.
Yeah, that's the
So-
thing with my 110 is if I try and scrape it, it's the balance point is so weird because you'll bring it back past balance point and it'll like want to loop, so you just slam on the brake and you'll be at 12 o'clock, if not past 12 o'clock, and the fender's too short to scrape. So you'll basically get to the point to where you're slowing down so much that you just stop and fall
and then
down.
fall on your ass. That's what I
Yeah.
do on my TPR90 every time I try to scrape.
Yeah, no, you can't scrape it.
yeah, your front suspension will just rock and you'll either flip over the handlebars and mousetrap or you'll hit your nuts super hard on the tank.
Yep.
Yeah, so Ehard, don't hit your nuts.
So I saw,
Yeah, I don't have to worry
saw
about
another interesting question. What was worst looping experience, or maybe how many times have you all looped? I'm somewhere around 10 times. A lot of people don't understand what goes on into the learning curve. So, I mean, like with stunt riding for me, I mean, when I first started, I started out the first enduro bike or whatever, supermoto, whatever you want to call it. I had a 2001 DRZ S model. So I had the dirt bike model, and I put Harley tires on it. Because I wanted a supermoto, but I couldn't afford it at that time. And man, to be honest, I looped that thing probably 20 times on the street, just going at speed. It's definitely not as easy as it looks. I mean, it takes a lot of time and determination to really learn it perfectly. But there's some people that, they've gone maybe they never had a crash and they're pretty good at it.
Yeah,
For me, it was pretty hard learning curve.
So I got my WR 450. I guess it was the summer after I turned 18. I would ride wheelies, and I got lucky. I didn't use foot brake at that time because honestly, I didn't even think about using it. I'm like, oh, it's balancing. You can't cheat with your foot brake.
Yeah.
So I rode wheelies like that for probably about a year into the next summer. And then I met up with Cole Holly, and he's like, dude, you need to be using your brake. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I think there were 2 times I looped without using my foot brake. And luckily it was at slow speed. I was trying to do like first, second gear wheelies, and I looped like on in a cul-de-sac where I was practicing. And then Cole was like, you need to start using your foot brake. I'm like, nah. And then eventually I'm like, okay, as soon as I start using my foot brake, I can't say I've legitimately looped a wheelie. Like I've looped wheelies, but it's like screwing around in a gravel pit on my YZ.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like completely messing around, and I toss the bike and run away without even really
Sell your
crashing.
bike.
So,
Yeah, my worst looping experience was this is bad. I was like 18 years old, thought I was all cool riding my DRC with a group of sport bikes, we do this Wednesday night ride with a group of like 30, 40 people, a bunch of stunt riders, a couple supermotos back in the day, sport bikes and Harleys, just basically anybody could ride. And I remember watching a couple other people doing wheelies. I had a buddy that had a KTM 450, and I could see him. He would be shifting gears in the wheelie, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try that. I'm going to shift from third into fourth gear at 40 miles an hour. What I didn't realize is when I shifted, I didn't use my clutch. I just clicked it in, going pretty fast. I got that jut from shifting from third to fourth gear. And man, I looped that thing at 45 miles an hour very hard. I got in front of I ended up actually on top of the bike somehow. Like just sliding on top of it, and all people could see, because we were riding at night, was just a shower of sparks and smoke of me going down the middle of the road. And yeah, I mean, we got, I was actually pretty fine. I didn't have any road rash on my arms or anything because I was wearing my jacket and I was wearing a helmet and gloves. But the first thing that touched the ground was my butt. And man, I tell you, it was a newly paved road. I literally had yellow stripes in my skin of my butt.
Oh.
I got home, probably took like 5 shots of vodka, let it set into me for a little bit, and went into the bathtub, took a rag, poured a bunch of rubbing alcohol on it, and just hydrogen peroxide, and just went to town and scrubbed my butt. That was the worst looping experience ever. After that, I learned how to use foot brake, and I don't really shift anymore.
Yeah, my first.
You don't shift in wheelies much?
Now I do. Now that I use the clutch, I can downshift and slow it. I can slow it down to a stop and downshift, and I can upshift now. So I'm a little bit better with that.
That's funny because like the first day my WR450 was street legal, like before I was using foot brake, I literally shifted like 2nd through 5th gear. Like I just got on it and I just held it open. It just slammed through the gears in a wheelie, and I'm like, I could not do this on my XR250. Like I didn't even think I'd be able to do it, and it just happened. But
when I had my WR250X, it was a little bit more forgivable. Like I could do it without really getting too much of that kickback. But man, when I was riding that DRZ, I mean, if you shifted mid wheelie, you felt it, and I wasn't ready for it. So
no, I'm both my bikes now. I pretty much every time I wheelie, I up and or downshift.
Yeah, downshifting is fun though when you pull the clutch in, get it slower, and come up to a light.
Oh yeah, that's so fun. Especially if you're like you're cruising like a 5th gear, and then you coast it like all the way to a stoplight, and you bang down every single gear like right before you drop the wheel. That's like the best feeling ever.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah,
I've been through a couple of loops. I mean, like, I've never really had like horrible ones, but I've been through like maybe 2 or 3 on my TTR 110 that I had, and those are like that was like my first, I guess, real dirt bike, because I would ride that thing every day, everywhere, and that thing was like my main transportation when I was like 12 or something like that. So it was like I would cruise around on that thing, and I was like, okay, let's try and do some wheelies. So what I would do is I'd have it in 2nd gear or 1st gear and just kind of cruise at like 10 miles an hour and just basically shift up and give it gas at the same time. It would basically be like popping the clutch, but it didn't have one.
Yeah.
So it would just bring it up really quick to balance point, and I'd ride it out from 2nd, and then I'd shift into 3rd, and I could cruise wheelies on the thing. And then one time I was coming down a neighborhood road, and I was riding a wheelie, and I shifted into 3rd gear, and it was like one of those, it just like notched back and flew backwards. Like it just launched back. I don't know, I was probably going like 30, and that was interesting, but I was like 12, so I just got up and kind of got back on and rode
all
off.
those looping experiences though are like, when you're first learning wheelies, for me at least, it was like a slow motion, like, oh my god, I'm gonna die.
Or you have hope that like magically the front wheel's just gonna come back down if you think about it hard enough.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, nope, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I was
the,
always bad, and I would continue holding on to the bars. I wouldn't just let
yeah,
it go. I would ride with it.
Yeah.
dude, that's
"Oh,
what
I'm
I.
not letting you go."
The I think probably the worst loop I had whenever I was like, okay, I need to learn rear brake. I was probably going about 40 in like fourth gear on my old 230 that I had, and I was riding like this in long, just basically like long balance point. You shift through the gears every time the bike revs up, kind of wheelie. I didn't know rear brake or anything, and then I basically just revved it, and I just brought it past balance point, and I held onto the bike, and I just kept holding on, and I felt the whole rear end like scrape, and as soon as the exhaust hit, I like basically let go and just kind of slid.
Yeah.
But it was like I hit the back of my head with my helmet so hard I cracked it.
Oh shit.
Like it wasn't like I cracked the outside layering of the helmet.
Yeah.
So it was pretty intense, but I remember like whenever I looped it, I kind of just like laid there until I heard the bike die. It just kind of like put it out. I just like laid there. I was like, holy shit. And then I just looked at the sky. I was like, did I die or something? And then I remember running up to the bike and like I looked at the ground. There was like a scrape from the bike, and I was like, well, I mean, the bike's okay, I guess. I like picked it up
Priority
and
number
like,
one is the bike okay?
yeah, I mean, the funniest part was like there was like a bunch of like these Mexican dudes mowing like some lawn, like it was like a lawn care service, and they like watched me like loop and pick up the bike and just ride off. I like looked at them, and then like they had like the most puzzled look on their face. I was like, oh yeah, that's normal,
Yeah, that's a nice thing about riding a supermoto. You can crash those things hard and
Yeah.
wrap them around poles and flip them over, and you can pick it right back up and get going.
And I mean, the
Crash one.
shittiest thing is like the guys that'll like crack their crank by dropping it on a curb or something.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, at the when I was at the SBK ride last year, some dude is like a brand new KTM 500.
Yeah.
He was like trying to ride over a curb, and he just like set the bike down, and it put a hole straight through his case.
Yeah, that's the
Oh
saddest.
man, that's insult to injury.
Yeah, it was. Oh, I felt so bad for him.
Yeah, like out of all the things, you hit the curb and it broke. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
and we were in the Maxim parking lot. Like we didn't even leave the parking lot yet.
yeah,
I mean, actually, it's kind of a blessing that it happened then.
yeah, yeah. That just sucks.
I looped a Grom once, and I landed on my feet. So I mean, it really wasn't even a loop.
Everyone I've seen that has like test drove a Grom and like wheelied it, they looped it.
The thing is, I wasn't even trying to like wheelie it or anything. I'm like, man, this thing has no balls. So I was sitting dead stop, and I just went to rev the shit out of it and take off. And I didn't realize that it went up to redline so quick. And by the time I realized I was bouncing off the limiter, I was already dropping the clutch. And so it just kind of like stood up. I caught it, but it had enough traction that it kind of like walked away from me and just fell over. And I had the handlebars the whole time. And so it was like a gentle fall over, but it still bent the shifter down underneath the case. And of course I broke the taillight, and now it's Neil's bike.
Huh. Interesting.
I love riding drums. Drums are so fun, though. I would totally love one.
I don't know, man.
I've
I don't
never
know how
ridden-
people can go from a supermoto to a Grom.
I don't think I could, but
They're not fun when you're big. They're not fun when you're big.
yeah.
I rode the Northside Hooligans. He let me do it the first annual for Automotions because we only brought one bike and there's two riders. So instead of staying at the cabin, I rode his Grom around and could not get over like 53 miles an hour. Like it was pinned the whole way, and everyone's like doing wheelies and fucking taking off. And here I am just fucking pinned. Like I hope they don't lose me.
Yeah.
I loved the idea of a Grom until I rode one, and then I'm like, it's a lot more fun than riding a small bike made for big people. Riding a small bike made for small people, it's a lot more fun. So
Yeah.
I'd much rather street legal like a KLX 110 than
Yeah.
a Grom.
I mean,
They're
it
tons of fun.
kind of turns like a scooter. I mean, I don't want to bash them, but it's got a weird Like narrow wheelbase, really tiny tires. It's got that weird feel to it. I just can't.
They don't handle well. The handlebars hit my knees.
I was expecting it to like at least be super duper like light and nimble and shit, and I'm like, this doesn't really handle that great.
You know they weigh about the same as the TW.
I know. Well, that's the other thing. They're so damn heavy. It's like just a little 125 dirt bike weighs half of what a Grom weighs.
Yeah, like straight up. Like my TW has like basically twice the size of the tires, and it weighs like the same amount.
Yeah.
Like, let me see how much they weigh.
Too much.
225-ish.
225 on the Grom.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And TW 200 weighs. What's 127 kilograms? I don't know.
More than 225.
$279.
Yeah.
So it's not too big of a difference. But think about it. That's more CCs, bigger tires, everything.
Wait, what weighs 279?
279 is the TW.
No way.
Yeah.
I did not expect that thing to be so heavy.
I mean, think about the tires and wheels and everything.
That's insane. My YZ250 weighs 240 pounds wet.
It's because they haven't changed the design since 1970.
I know. That's just ridiculous. It's like,
well, I mean, it's a steel frame. Everything's steel on it, you know?
I know, but I don't know. I get they're trying to build like a bulletproof bike, but I feel like
bullshit's bulletproof.
I mean, in terms of like the chassis, like I'm sure they just make them so you can absolutely mess with them without worrying about snapping in half.
Yeah, people have made those things into bobbers and stuff. They're pretty cool, actually.
I saw something at the dealership. It was like a retro TW250. I forget what it was called, but damn it, I keep Googling things whenever I'm in streams.
I used to be on Craigslist all the time.
Yeah, that's what I was on the last stream I was in with Brad. I was trying to find a 250X. The nearest one was 400 miles away from me.
Yeah.
That's an easy trip.
Not in my truck. My truck would break down 3 times before I got there.
Wheelan, if you find a bike, we can take a road trip and go pick it up, and I will bring one of my bikes, and then we can ride. Okay?
Dude, you're gonna have like the full suite of BeRAD products to throw on it before I even ride it.
All right, it's a deal.
Sticker
Oh
bout.
yeah. Well, if everything goes as planned before the end of this year, I want to have a 250. So we might be riding it in December, but it'll be worth it.
All right.
Dude.
I'll have it for like 10 minutes, hit a patch of ice, and then just like 50 feet.
Knowing you'll probably crack the case. Like, you'll probably like drop it on the curb.
It'll be like, oh, freaking WR250s are bulletproof. And then I like try to start it, and a piston just flies. I say a piston. The piston just flies out.
Yeah, you'll be that guy that like drops it on a pebble, and the pebble is what breaks it.
Yeah.
Friggin', I found a diamond. I can pay for my bike now.
What? This guy made a KTM 250 EXCF dirt bike into a cafe racer.
Who's that?
I'm trying to figure out.
He was so
There's
obsessed
a link.
with how that he didn't ask why.
That is insane. Here, I'll put the link in our side chat and the BeRAD side chat on YouTube. That is cool. He like custom fabbed the tank and the fender and the seat and everything, but look at the picture of it where it's got like the Warp 9s. Or, I mean, those are XL supermoto wheels.
That's awesome.
Dude, that is awesome. That would be so sick to build.
See, I kind of want to do something similar.
Yeah.
But more minimalistic, like.
What's the one that you keep putting on Instagram? Isn't that like a XR600 or something?
Yeah, that's what I really want to do is like an XR650L.
Yeah.
And
there's a video.
Strip it down, supermoto it, and even like maybe lower it. I don't know.
Well, if the L's as tall as the R, they're fucking really tall bikes, but you're also tall.
Yeah. Well, once you supermoto it, that drops it down quite a ways, and then
heavy though, aren't they?
Oh, the BF has the XR650R. It's really tall. Like it's supermoto.
Yeah. Well,
It
like
was
you
the
said,
one
I'm
on my side.
Oh my gosh, this cafe racer is so cool.
I'm
I'm
not a
gonna
fan
get
of it.
going. I'll see you guys later. Good chat.
See
All
you,
right,
man.
man.
Later, Tony.
Bye.
Again.
I'll see you this weekend, Mr. D.
Mister.
Mr. G.
All right. Take it easy, guys. Bye.
Yeah, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Dude,
I guess I should click this link.
I would love to make a cafe racer like that. Like I've seen people, everyone makes these cafe racers out of these little fucking dirt bikes, and it's like, why, dude? Like make it with like a
That
race
does
bike.
look freaking badass with all the custom fab work on
Yeah,
it.
it's a custom tank and everything, dude.
Because like normally people just get like a CB
Yeah,
that's basically already a cafe racer, throw some clubmint on it, and ride around wearing penny loafers.
yeah. This is a dirt bike with everything custom on it. You know, I mean, like they kept the frame, the suspension, the swing arm, and all that, and the motor, but like everything else seems to be like custom. And I bet that bike weighs nothing.
Yeah, probably not a whole lot.
It's awesome.
I think the FC09 would be cool as a cafe racer.
Well, I mean, we
Brad?
have that
Oh yeah. Well, you've seen like the flat tracker, that yellow one, like
E07.
custom build. There's one that it's at the motorcycle shows.
Well, I haven't been to one. It's this weekend.
Oh, well, you'll see it. I
Are you
guarantee
sure
it.
it's the
You
same
know what you
one?
won't
Maybe you
see?
should tell me.
Brad.
Yeah, I saw it there last
Well-
year. So yeah, it's a yellow FZ9 in like a
Here, I've got
cafe
a picture
style.
of it.
They have like the 60th anniversary striping on it and stuff.
It's actually
It's
the thumbnail for one of my videos.
Have you guys seen the XSR 900 or whatever? It's the same
Yeah.
bike.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but this one was like built for like as a flat track bike.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, the XSR is a really cool bike too.
Yeah,
But
have you seen the new
this-
SCR 950? It's the Bolt. The Yamaha Bolt.
I was kind of wondering what the difference is, and then I looked at the price. It's like $3,000 difference.
Yeah, it's got a V-twin and dirt bike suspension and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Is that Wheelan? Is that the bike that we all sat on and we were like, this thing feels like it weighs 2,000 pounds?
Dude, yeah, they're heavy and
I
they're
don't
really
remember.
like they feel like the seat is like a rock and they feel super top
Yeah,
heavy.
there was
Was
some
it
Yamaha.
right next to the VMAX?
Yeah, I don't know,
Does
but
it
I
look
sat
like
on one of them, and my knee rubbed up on the head of the engine, like
Yeah.
the cylinder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the Scrambler or the SCR 950 or whatever.
Yeah, that was the most uncomfortable bike I've ever sat on.
Yep. I've heard with like a
Yeah.
different set of bars and stuff, they're so much better. But like, normally, like I've never ridden one, but I've sat on them at the dealerships like plenty of times, and they are
But-
so weird. They're so top heavy.
Oop, I'm sharing the wrong thing.
Hey, let me address something real quick. So, Caden Britton has asked probably 300 times if you should get a 250 KTM or a 250 Honda. You should get whatever you can find.
Yay.
If the bike runs and the bike works for you, that's what you should get. You should get the one that you want, and
That
I
matches
mean,
your riding style.
you know, yeah. I mean, that's a very broad question. Is which one's or which one?
I answered his question, but he said only BeRAD or his friends or whatever. So
Yeah, Mr. Diddles, your opinion doesn't
apparently
matter.
I'm a nobody.
Okay, well, as an
You're repping the
example,
wrong
is
brand
one
in the
model
shirt.
more prone to repairs than the other?
I mean,
Depends.
in my opinion, if they were comparable year, comparable style bike, I'd probably go with the Honda. But that's just me.
Well, I mean,
Okay,
if they
and then I
if they
guess-
take like the EXCW, that's probably dead reliable.
I mean, are we talking an SX 250 versus an XR 250? Because those are very different bikes. That's
Yeah.
And I would assume
No.
that, like, if you want to get whatever KTM Brad was just talking about, you probably have done your homework and know all the differences and stuff. That I don't want to talk shit about you, but if you're asking that question, probably just go for the Honda. You know?
yeah. I mean, I think generally, if it's a comparable bike, the Honda will hold up better. I mean, the KTM builds their bikes as race bikes primarily. They're, I mean, not to say they're not good, reliable bikes for the most part if you take care of them, but I think they're more than to last. And in my
Which means you'll do a lot of maintenance on it.
yeah.
I mean, think about it. It's like a BMW over a Honda. I mean, obviously Honda, but BMW, it's a European,
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Or what
and you
is
got to take
KTM
it to the
Austrian?
dealership to do an oil change.
Yeah.
But that also depends on the year. But yeah, I'm screen sharing right now the DT07 from the 2015 motorcycle show.
Penis.
Balls.
I saw a FZ07 similar to that, but it wasn't a flat tracker. It was a dirt bike, pretty much. They put like YZ suspension on it.
Yeah. Well, Wheelan, there's that bike, but there's also like an FZ9 version, which is it's like a lot different style. That's the flat track version I was thinking of. But there is like a more cafe style FZ9. That's sweet also.
But it's a custom. It's not the SCR.
No, yeah, it's a custom build. I saw it at the Chicago show last year, and then it was there again this year.
I was mad because there was a custom VMAX there that was kind of like a modern cafe racer type build, but I couldn't sit on it.
Yeah.
You know, one bike that I kind of wanted to like ride and like mess with is the Super Tenere, but I want to make it a naked bike.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the Super Tenere is, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that would be sweet.
Like
I know some guys up in
1200.
UP who will, like, jump them and stuff.
Yeah.
I
I
was
thought that would be an awesome bike.
my dad was in here before I started the live stream, and we were talking about just what a cool bike would be. We were talking about getting that other FZ9 and making the go-kart. And then I was just thinking, like, how perfect would an FZ7 motor be in like a 450 chassis?
Yeah.
Like
How
that
big
would
would it be to just have an FZ07?
but
I know I had to say something because I had to mock all the people who are serious about saying that.
but
I've always
seriously,
wanted like a Raptor 700 motor in a 450 frame.
yeah. I saw this Banshee 350 build in a YZ 450
That's
frame.
crazy.
Yeah, it was sweet. I think the thing, and it was like running alcohol. I think the thing had like 130 horsepower.
God damn.
Insane.
That's insane.
Yeah,
That is insane.
like it was basically like one of those drag racing Banshee motors squeezed into a
I
YZ.
think you told me about that.
Right.
That does sound odd. I'm basically being like street bike Tommy right now and just kind of nodding and agreeing with anything you say about dirt bikes because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I wouldn't want anything other than any bigger than a 450 for a dirt bike. I'm talking for a supermoto.
Yeah.
Like the FC7 motor would be so perfect because you can get a lot more top speed, but you still have all that like low end torque, and it's
Yeah, it's just kind of
super
heavy.
lightweight.
I mean, like, think about it. Compared to a 450, it would be pretty heavy.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
it's
you'd
pretty
have
heavy, but at least you still have like somewhat of the nimble feeling of a supermoto.
Right.
I mean the FC7 stock is a great compromise between like a sport bike and a supermoto, but
Yeah. Well, honestly, the FZ07, like, I guarantee you, like, it could do great off road. Like, I don't know where I'm going with that. I mean, it's a street bike, but you could still ride it off road pretty good.
I forget who was. I think Jake was saying something that like the 07 has, like he found a different battery pan location and all sorts of weird like holes with nothing in them on the frame. That he said it basically looked like they set it up to be converted to a flat track or a dirt tracker or something like that.
Huh.
So I mean, like from the factory. So I would definitely not be surprised to see some.
Honestly, good thing you brought that up because different bikes do have weird things like that. I know the Husqvarna 701 has a bunch of open spots in it too, where it just we don't really know what it's meant for, but it's open for something, which is
There's probably
really
some
weird. It
like
doesn't make any sense, but
in 20 years it'll be like the hard to find OEM part to convert it.
like a bunch of Easter eggs or something. It's like,
Yeah.
what is this
Like,
supposed to be? And then later on Reddit, someone's gonna be like, oh yeah, it's meant for this. It's oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, like when I had my V65, Honda in the 1980s actually made a bolt-on supercharger for it. And so one of those cost like twice as much as the bike did because they didn't make very many. And chances are when you installed it, your motor would just like throw a rod or something. But it would be awesome to have a supercharged V65 for 100 miles. I can do those 100 miles in 5 minutes.
Brad, who's that guy that like races supermoto and whenever he's got that YZ with the dual exhausts?
Josh.
Yeah,
Oh,
Josh.
I meant to invite him. I figured he'd message me if he saw that this was up.
Yeah, dude, I was seeing like just looking at his quad that he has with the supermoto tires on it. Imagine one of those street legal.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I'll
I
send
just
him.
found one. I found a picture of one. It's pretty cool. Like a Raptor 700 with street tires on it would be amazing. I'm not a big quad guy because I don't like the way they ride. They're like all wiggly and fidgety and stuff. But it would still be pretty cool to like drift around a corner and whatnot.
Someone, I saw someone asked a question earlier, and there is in relation to group rides and like things that sketch us out about them, like where you like to ride in the group. I thought that was kind of an interesting question. Anyone have any comments on that?
I like riding in the front.
I ride sweeper with big group rides because chances are I don't know anybody, so I'd rather just chill at the back and kind of keep an eye on everyone.
Yeah, I mean, most of the group rides I go on, I'm leading them because I usually host them in Ann Arbor here. So I'm kind of forced to be out in front, which I absolutely hate.
I hate it too, actually. I end up in the lead a lot, and I hate it.
Yeah.
However, there was that ride that I did with Motor City Supermoto, and you were on that ride. I think it was like when you were in front of me going around those bikers on one wheel. It dawned on me, I don't know these guys for shit. Who knows?
Well,
Any one of these
the
guys
crazy
could
Russian
crash, and I could run them over and crash. Like
there were crazy Russian guys on like R1s and stuff who would pass a group of 30 people in the left lane going through hell over a hill around a blind corner, and they'd still be doing it when there's cars coming at them and like split between the car and the lead bike with like 5 feet.
Damn.
Yeah.
Those dudes were batshit insane.
So like, I guess in relation to like a group ride that I wasn't leading, the biggest one was probably the SBK ride. I think there were like 150 people, and that it went really well last year. There's one dude, some fucking like he was like 17 and on an R1 that his parents very obviously bought him without having a single clue what they were buying him, and this guy was just, we'll be cruising 40 miles an hour and he'd be speeding up to like 80 and then slowing down and then speeding up and slowing down. And, you know, it only takes one person like that to completely ruin a group ride.
Right.
Yeah.
And
it's pretty easy to spot the people who you don't want to be near, but sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, in situations like that, I kind of don't mind being up front because usually that's, I mean, at least for me, like I'll usually know the person leading the group, so I can kind of sit by them. And usually people give a little more space to the people up front. But I don't know. I guess I float around. Like sometimes I'll pull off and wait for the whole group to pass, and then work my way back up. You know, when it's appropriate.
Yeah, and like with supermotos and dirt bikes and stuff, there's people doing stunts. There's probably more likelihood of somebody falling, but it's a lot easier to just give them distance than with like a bunch of street bikes and 17-year-old kids on R1s or people who want to prove something. It's a lot harder to keep your distance from them because, you know, you may be going through a curve or something and they just lay it down and slide into you, or they keep riding too close to you or something like that.
Yeah.
I've backed out of a few rides just because I wasn't comfortable with the size of them and not knowing the people who I was with.
Yeah, that's a big thing too with being a leader of a group. Every group ride I've had, I make sure everyone's paying attention, and before we get on the bikes, like when we're at the meetup, I'm like, okay, a group ride is not the place for you to be practicing wheelies. If you can wheelie or whatever, you're comfortable, you know the back brake, go ahead and do it. Like, that's cool, you know, have fun. But if you're trying to like just show off and impress people, you
Save
really
it for the
don't know what
lot.
you're doing. Like, that's not the place to be doing it, because
Yeah.
if you go down, you're going to affect a lot of other people. And, you know,
Yeah.
See, we made some announcements though, and we had a bunch of people not listen.
well, I know. and then
Wings or
that's-
Ben got up there and made a freaking kick-ass announcement, and then like a bunch of the people who, because the way I understand that ride, it was kind of just meant to be like 10 or 15 people, and then some friends invited their friends, and they invited their friends, and it blew up.
It did.
but
It kind of did.
There were some people who were just riding super reckless, and it was uncomfortable.
Yeah, and that's and like usually those people, like, I'll try to, if I'm leading it, I'll try and be like I'll pull over intentionally, get the group, and I'll be like, stop, like, I will ask you to leave, go back home if you're gonna keep riding like that.
I
Because
know there was
Right.
one you yelled at people to stop passing cars,
yeah, okay, like
when it
Ian.
was totally justified.
Ian does that on every group ride I've been with him. Like, we're just cruising, and then he blows by and passes a car, and it's like, dude, come on, just chill.
And it was Huron River Drive, and it was a pretty big group, and I think you weren't leading at the time, and so the lead bike
No,
did
I
it. And
dropped
so
back, and I switched off. I told Tyler to lead, and I just kind of
and so
Drop
everyone
back.
else just kind of followed suit to pass the one car or the two cars.
I know,
you
and that's where it gets dangerous, because you can't have that many people making illegal passes like that, and then someone's going to be like, oh, I need to catch up with the group, so let me pull this risky move.
Or, there's people who are waiting to make a legal pass, and they get separated, or,
So yeah, it's just
if you're in a group ride, just chill out and enjoy being on two with your friends. It's not the place to be a badass.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to be honest. Group rides are, for the most part, like big group rides like that, are not fun. Like, the riding isn't fun. The experience is fun because you're with all these people, you meet all these people.
Yeah,
but the riding
Chill out
aspect,
and behave.
yeah, I get no like pleasure out of the riding aspect of it.
I think the most fun part of a few of those rides I've been on with you, where it's like 20 people, is just sitting still in traffic in town and looking at everybody staring at you.
Yeah, that's probably my most favorite part about it.
I think the thing that I'm most excited for, honestly, it's not exactly the ride like y'all were saying. Whenever I go to the SBK ride, I'm literally meeting everyone there pretty much, like I'll be meeting you guys in person and whatnot, and that'll be pretty cool. Cause like I've built tons of relationships just from like doing this kind of shit, and it's like I've never actually like shook their hand before.
Yeah, it's crazy. When I was at the SBK ride, we were out at like I don't know what they call it. It's like the stunt spot. It's like a little skate park with all the concrete features and stuff. So we were there, and Jimmy Pop, he was on his WR250R, and like I saw him like doing coaster wheelies. So I like started talking to him. We ended up like swapping bikes for a few minutes, and he's who I'm meeting up to travel with for months on end around the country. So, like, we literally talked for 10 minutes, then didn't say anything for like a whole year after that, and then now we're planning this trip like in a month or two to meet up and go travel in our vans. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
the bike fam is legit, man.
Yeah.
Like, we're at Ehart's ride. One of our dudes noticed that his cords were showing on his tire, so they freaking changed his tire in their garage, hooked two of the dudes up with safety glasses, and it's like,
hey Chase,
meet all sorts of cool people like that.
He's like, I don't even know how I'm gonna get home. He's like, I'm not even sure. He's like, I thought I had more tire left.
Yeah, because it was still like
quite a
100
bit.
miles home, and he was showing cords legit in the center of his tire, and we were just gonna be on the highway the whole way. So none of us were. I mean, we're kind of like, well, do we just go slow the whole way or what?
What I'm surprised is he didn't like speak up sooner. He doesn't like say anything until like midnight. It's like he's like, I don't know. I was like, well, yeah, what the fuck are you gonna do now? It's like, good thing we have a tire changer.
Yeah,
You have to send you home.
nervous.
if there's one like important maintenance thing to do on your bike, it's always have somewhat fresh tires. Like on my supermoto, I replace tires before the tread's even gone because I feel they've gone through too many heat cycles. So it's like I don't understand people who run it down to the cord. That
Dickhead.
blows my mind. Say dickhead?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, one of my friends just texted me and said, "Say dickhead," so it kind of fit in with that sentence.
Might as well say
No,
penis.
also my tire is pretty much bald, so
You're one of those people that's gonna just make the day bad for everyone.
no, it's not that bad. The TW still has like a fingernail's worth of tire left. Tread.
That's pretty impressive because the tread on that thing's pretty chunky, isn't it?
Well, I've got like a street tire set up on it, so it's like a 70/30 instead of a straight up dirt
okay.
tire. So it's a little,
Okay.
like you can actually corner with it. But the thing is, it's got a 180, you know, but it'll do like if you try and go knee down and you try and get rid of the chicken strips, you can't because it'll scrape pegs before you can get rid of the chicken strips. It's got
Yeah.
permanent chicken strips on it. Like the tires literally still have the little nipples on them from whenever I first got them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much how my
Can't go any
bike is. Like
Yeah.
they're very slight. They're probably 3/8 of an inch past the edge of the crown of the tire. But if I lean any further than where my chicken strip is, I'm pretty much just gonna be dragging my foot peg. So I'm like, yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah, I've bounced the bike before. Like I've caught peg and bounced the rear end. I was like, holy shit, that was scary.
Is it just because it's so light? I've never had that happen.
Well, the thing is, like I've gotten it to where I was scraping peg. I was like, okay, this is fine. And then I went a little further and it grabbed the concrete.
I just realized I just asked if it was because your 300-pound bike was so light.
I mean, it's honestly a really lightweight bike. Like I can pick it up, but like it's not. I don't know. If you like sat on it, you'd think it's really lightweight, but I guess it's heavy.
Well, yeah, curb weight doesn't tell you the whole story.
Yeah. It's kind of like having like a Ninja 250 versus like a 600. I mean, you can obviously tell the weight difference, you know.
Yeah.
Too much different.
Very
My friend wanted me to say his name, so hi Chase. There you go. There you go. Look at that.
Tell Chase we
Dickhead.
don't do personal promotions on here when he's not.
We don't do shout outs, bro.
Yeah,
Tell
Chase.
Chase to get in the side chat. Shit.
Chase, we don't give shout outs.
Yeah, we don't give
I bet Chase is gonna have 10,000 more subscribers by tomorrow from that shout out.
I don't even know what his. I don't even know if he has a YouTube channel.
Doesn't matter.
That's the only reason I do hangouts with Brad is so I can get more subs,
Yeah.
obviously.
I always
Dude, last time I was on here, I got 2 subs.
damn.
I think I got 7.
I'm
so
probably
I'm
probably
pretty proud
like,
of that.
I'm probably at like -50 per video.
No, Brad was like 50 away from 300K. He's gonna be like down to 80K after having me in here.
Dude, Social Blade not too long ago was telling me in like a year I was gonna have negative subscribers.
Oh, really?
It literally said I was gonna have -30,000 or something like that not too long ago, but I think it went up because one of my videos like got some views.
Yeah.
I went
How
from
does that
negative
work?
to
Do
like
you
10.
pay other people instead
Huh?
instead of making money off YouTube? You actually pay other people, or how's that work?
Just to maintain your account. Be like, yeah, you gotta pay us or we're deleting your shit.
No, like it's just like all of a sudden one day it just like went straight to shit, and it was like it just like Social Blade said I had like the grade was like a C-, and then I was losing like something like 5,000 subscribers in the last 30 days, and it was stupid.
That just sounds like a bug. I know they'll bug out sometimes. What I like to do is, like, after I'm in a live stream on on a larger channel, is I'll get a little influx of subs and then just watch them drop off day by day once they realize that they don't like my content.
Yeah. That's why you can't really like get anywhere with shoutouts, because like most people will subscribe to you because of you, you know.
Right. Well, that's
Well,
the
and
thing.
then-
That's like when I get I get a lot of like messages on Instagram, and it's like, oh, shout me out, and
Why?
it's like first of all, like that's not what my page is for. It's not for shouting other people out just randomly for no reason. The other thing is, even if like for instance, Whelan and I did an awesome dual vlog, one of my favorite videos I've ever made.
Aw.
How much did that help your channel?
I think by the time it was all said and done with both of them, I got like 100.
Yeah.
Right.
Now,
So
I
it's
will
like,
say, on the second video, you just pasted the search URL to YouTube, and the first channel that comes up is like some Grand Theft Auto San Andreas channel.
oh yeah.
You fucked me over! I could have had like 150 more subs.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, so even if you're directly involved with like something that like a popular channel
Yeah.
or account on Instagram does, like the only way, well, see, but then, okay, don't like what I'm going to say here. It doesn't even apply to you because I love your videos, Whelan, but you have to make the people interested in your content. They're not going to
Clickbait.
subscribe just because.
Clickbait.
They'll come and they'll look,
Pretty much.
whether or not
I
they
mean,
stay and
I'm glad
sub
you brought that
depends
up
on your
because
content.
I'm at least assuming that the typical BeRAD viewer is not necessarily down to watch the type of videos I make. And that's just how it is. If they don't want to watch it, don't watch it, you know?
Which like blows my mind because like I love you're so funny, and maybe it's just I understand your sense of humor and like
Maybe it's because you have a really stupid, dry sense of humor like me and nobody else
like
does.
I understand it. Maybe other people just don't get it. I don't know. YouTube is weird. YouTube is
It probably has something to do with knowing each other in person and knowing him for real and
Yeah, that too.
kind of wrapping that two together.
yeah.
I subbed
wanted to
Whelan.
see-
I subbed Whelan for his voice.
Dude,
That
you are like the 10th person. I can't talk. 10th person to tell me that this week, and it kind of weirds me out, to be honest.
Yeah, you
But
just
before-
lost like 10 subs.
No
Right?
face
Because
reveal.
I
Just
lift-
voice.
I lift.
So,
Yeah, no. If I do a face reveal, it'll ruin the illusion.
Right.
But Brad was saying just being associated with someone with a lot of success doesn't mean you're gonna get a big influx. Like EN 187 has the Monday night hangout with a collective 5 million subs potentially
Right.
between everybody.
Yeah.
He's sitting at 71,000.
Yeah. That's
Months
probably
ago he was at 50.
that's like
so,
the
I mean-
prime example right there. And he makes good content.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know what it is, honestly. It's just weird. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
and I mean, you could argue, oh, it's not hosted on their channels, but it's the same people every week. They talk about it and everything.
Yeah.
So, and it's probably, in my opinion, better because the people who click the red button are going to stick around, interact, and actually watch what you put out and not just be a number.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, the other thing is too, it's just like, when you have like younger people, send you a message and they're like, oh, shout me out. It'd mean the world. Like, I want more followers. Like, don't get caught up in getting followers. Like I mean, it sounds like stupid and hypocritical for like me to say that. 'Cause like, that's like part of my job, but followers are not like important in your life. Followers don't mean anything unless they are following you because they want to support you. If it's just a number, like that number means nothing. Like my
Yeah.
300 subscribers would mean nothing except for that a portion of them like really like the content I put out and
Right.
want to support, me doing that stuff. So I don't know.
I mean,
It's stupid for me to comment on that because it just makes me sound like a big douche.
I see where you're coming from. I mean, like if you make good content and like some people are gonna like it and some people aren't. It's kind of like, I guess, a comedian or something. Like
Yeah.
I mean, like
Subjective.
people like go check out the like different comedians because they like them for certain reasons and whatnot. And that's also like with like, I guess, Lee Stewart, which is unique, and like some of the Harley guys at Wheelie Harleys. I bet a lot of people subscribe to them because they see them wheeling Harleys. They're like, damn, that's cool. And then like us that ride supermotos, I mean, like, I guess the guys that ride supermotos, there's a lot of guys that ride supermotos, but then there's also a small amount of people that can ride wheelies on supermotos like really good. And I think that's what like stands out to them too. Like they'll be like, wow, this guy's good at wheelies. You know, they subscribe for that too. And
I mean,
some people subscribe for like bikes and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'd much rather have 100,000 dedicated subscribers that are gonna watch all my videos and like interact with me than 500,000 and only a handful of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the interaction is huge.
Yeah. The thing is, I mean, I have like 40,000 subs, right? But I get about 3,000 views per video. You know.
Yeah. I know,
I'd
and
like to have like 10,000 subs, 10,000 views. That would be.
And I mean that's what sucks. Like you look at my channel, I have just under 300,000 now, and my videos have been getting like 15 to 20,000 views per video, which I don't know, it's like kind of makes me feel shitty because like it makes me want to like make what people will call clickbait titles, and you know like ridiculous thumbnails and stuff to get those views, but. You know,
but chances are that could easily backfire and people just like hate your guts for that.
Right. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's like that balance. It's like, you know, it is a big portion, and like the views are a big part of supporting me being able to do this. So there's kind of a line you have to draw of when you know, how much can you kind of, I guess, BS your way through it in like these slow months. Like I'm not even riding right now. I can't even put out new content.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Waylon.
Hey.
The kid Chase that I shouted out a minute ago. His dad said that your videos suck.
Well, thank you for checking out my channel, Chase's dad. I'm going to assume that you're being honest and actually watched a video, in which case I appreciate your honest feedback.
Tell Chase's dad to get the hell out of here.
No, it was funny. I don't know if any of you guys actually watch my channel, but I did this video with these kids. I don't know if you've seen the Don't Be Like David.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so like one of those kids' parents found the video and actually commented on the video. I was like, oh shit. Like, oh shit.
That's intense.
I hope it was like, yeah, my kid's a piece of shit. Sorry, and not you're an evil woman.
You know, at one point I had pointed out like David's friends, and I was like, you know, don't be like David. And then I was like, be like David's friends because they're behaving. It was one of the friends who was behaving.
Okay.
Parents, and they were like, oh yeah, we know David. He's like, I'm a good kid's parent.
Yeah, that reminds me of this one thing. It was like a post on Facebook that I saw, and it was this guy on like, it was like a police Facebook page or something. Like they commented and they said, if you're this guy on this green Kawasaki sport bike, we know who you are, or something like that. And then it shows like it zooms in on a comment, and the profile picture is a green Kawasaki sport bike, and it says, I hope you catch him.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Like I think I saw like the original post of that.
Yeah.
Like I was reading through the comments and noticed the guy.
I was like, oh my god, that is hilarious.
Yeah.
I hope you catch him.
Was it just for like speeding or something?
It was.
No,
like,
he was like running.
Yeah, it was like running from the cops and the. Yeah.
They're like, we will find you, and he said, I hope you catch him.
Yeah, it was like so obviously the guy that they were trying to find.
I would have just, well, I mean, for one, I probably would never run from cops because I'm a big puss and I obey the law. But like, I'd just make a throwaway account like Verde Kawasaki or something with a picture of my bike and be like, you'll never catch me or something like that.
Then they'll be like, okay, we're tracking you now.
Like, I'm behind 7 proxies. Come at me. I'm at the public library. Wait, shit. No, I'm at the other library.
I'm using the library's servers from a remote island in the Caribbean. You'll never find me.
And then they just pull up to the library and there's a green Kawasaki parked outside. They handcuff the Kawasaki.
That's funny. Oh man.
All right. Well, I'm actually going to go ahead and dip out.
All right.
Not allowed.
Not allowed.
Hey, you're here forever.
Once you're invited, you're not uninvited.
Right. Well, if I didn't have to adult, I got children to deal with. I
Ew.
would. I know. Adulting. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, wait. How old are you, Max?
Not
Well,
old
I have
enough.
an idea. You're what? You're 17, 18?
Yeah, close enough.
16. Are you still 16?
Yeah.
I thought you would have had a birthday by now.
No.
Okay, so you've been 16 for a while. You have one coming up then. Look,
He's been 16 for over a year.
Let's just say I've been 16 forever. Just leave
Max
it
is
at
a
that.
vampire.
I don't remember when I was 16.
'Cause I have kids your age.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I know, right?
You're old.
I know. I am. I didn't deny it.
Get that old hag out of here. Oh.
Fuck off.
She's gonna go to her kids and say, "I don't want you anymore."
Yeah, I wonder how many
No.
kids I have to sell to buy a new bike.
I've tried giving them away. No one will take them. Shit. All right. Well, all
right.
jokes aside, it was nice being here. Thanks for the invite, Brad.
Anytime. Thanks for joining us.
Most definitely.
Good to finally
Yeah.
catch you in the live stream.
Have fun looping wheelies.
I haven't looped one yet, thankfully.
They're not fun.
Keep it.
I can imagine. I'm doing them geared, so like I'm geared.
Wear your gear, please.
Yeah.
Because when you
Definitely.
don't, you leave massive scars and knees that don't heal very properly.
Right. Yep. Nope. I'm doing it in full gear. All right. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.
But gear totally messes with my swag, and I don't look cool when I'm
That's one
I
thing.
wear a
Like I
do-rag.
was talking to Lee about this. A lot of the stunters I see, supermoto and superbike or sport bike, they wear like jeans, skate shoes,
and a
a tank
snapback
top.
belt loop.
Yeah,
That
I'm
was
like-
literally me for the longest time. It was yeah, jeans, like even torn jeans, like skater shoes, like DC shoes, and then like a hoodie and a helmet, and that was it.
so I love my DCs. I would never ride in them except for once, but never mind.
I wear like Vans, jeans, and a
Yeah.
motorcycle jacket. Like,
Well, like I understand that, especially on a supermoto, but even when you're doing stunts, you're probably going a lower speed, but still, you're gonna hit
Yeah.
the ground and it's still gonna hurt.
yeah, those guys. I mean, they just wear T-shirts and khaki pants with long socks and DCs and shit. But like,
Yeah, if you're bombing around the city, I guess you can let it slide. I mean, I don't prefer it anymore. But after my loop, it's fucking like I spend hundreds of dollars on gears because it's just I can't afford to do that shit again.
yeah, I want to get a pair of rock pants, but I ride so much that I feel like I'd have to wash them so much, you know, I'd
I
have to get
haven't
like
washed my
5
jeans
pairs.
in 2 months.
I actually just got a pair of Dragon jeans or something, Dragon jeans. But I mean, I just bought boots and I gotta get gloves. I gotta get
Yeah, I mean, like I've crashed in jeans plenty of times. I mean, they've worked pretty decent, but like I haven't been going like crazy fast. I don't plan to go crazy fast either, you know.
Impact rig.
They haven't worked pretty decent. You've just got lucky.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess. Like that's the thing. That's why I want to get some like rock pants or something like with a little bit more reinforcement, you know.
Be a cool kid and get an impact rig and then wear Blaze orange jersey over top of it.
Well, see, I have like this company that's like got me with the hookup. Like they basically will send me like any gear I want, but they're like, well, what about this one? And I'm like, I don't know about that. And then I see all these like nice like pants that they have on there, like riding pants, but I'm like, do I really like want to get like a full on set of like they look like parachute pants kind of, you know what I'm talking about? They're like riding pants, but they have like padding them and everything.
Are they like jeans? Like
No, they're like it's kind of like a textile material
oh.
or
I
like a
usually ride in Duluth fire hose pants, which they're not riding pants by any extent, but they
They're
are
still
quite
pretty durable.
thick.
I mean,
Yeah,
they're
and-
I'd bet a lot of the like textile riding pants are made with that same material.
Or
Yeah.
comparable. But like in one of their catalogs, there's like a half-page ad that this guy's saying, "Oh, I crashed my bike and fire hose pants saved my ass." I'm like, well, I mean, anyone who's buying it because of that is not going to end up buying actual gear anyway. But
Yeah, I think I'm probably just
Motomax
gonna
is sexually harassing me on Facebook.
like.
Who is?
Motomax.
Oh God, block him.
Fuck that kid.
Block his ass.
Who does he think he is?
Some teenager at high school or something. 16 years old.
Faggot. Dude, freaking. So like, wait, Brad, what kind of like? I see you have like a full suit sometimes in your videos. Like, what do
Yeah,
you?
I have a one-piece Alpine Star, but normally I just wear an Alpine Star leather jacket or my like body armor rig.
Yeah, what's your rig?
And it's a Liet Adventure body armor. I think it's now like the Liet Adventure 5.0 or something like that. And I much prefer it for like just cruising around town, because if you ever impact something, that's going to do a way better job than a jacket. It's just not as good for like if you slide.
Yeah, but I mean, the areas you're normally riding around probably won't be sliding very far.
So yeah, like more likely I'm going to get hit by a car or something like that. So I don't know. But then I have Resurgence riding jeans, which it's not Kevlar, it's some other material, and they have built-in pads.
That's cool. I've seen a pair of like a brand called Joe Rocket or something like that.
Yeah.
Like the only like I don't know, like I just want to get something with like some material, like if I slide it's not gonna rip, you know?
Yeah.
Or melt into your skin. Joe Rocket has always struck me as kind of like an entry level type thing.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's any merit to that, but that's just how it comes across.
That's how it comes across to me, kind of like the loose fit, one size fits all. I don't know. I mean, I'm more of a gear Nazi than normal people, I think. Like, I'm very particular on what I wear.
Yeah, I found like a pair of, it's like an AGV, but it's got a Kevlar liner. I just want something with Kevlar liner because I would probably trust that.
Yeah,
Well,
for a jacket, I honestly don't think you can beat a leather jacket.
Oh
Yeah. Well, I mean, I already have plenty of like I like textile because it's really hot over here. You know, like you can have a leather jacket where you live. You know, because it doesn't get
We get 95-degree days in the summer too. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, but I would imagine it's not as humid. You know.
Yeah, but I still think. I mean, if you get a perforated leather jacket and you unzip the top a little, like I think it gets enough flow.
Corbs has, I think, the Hypersport Prime, which is perforated leather. God, I cannot talk tonight. And he says it flows air as good or better than his other Icon textile jacket. So I mean,
yeah, actually, I've owned two textile jackets previous to my perforated Alpine Star leather, and I much prefer the leather.
Like my leather jacket is a $99 X Element jacket that's 2 sizes too big, so I stopped wearing it unless it's really cold. But my textile jacket, I paid $200 for, and after 1 season, I can see stitches popping, and it's like, what happens when I hit the ground going 50? You know?
Yeah.
I know of people that wear, like in the summertime, obviously they wear like almost like mesh, like wife beaters almost, and they wear shorts, but then they have like every pad, like elbow pads, knee pads,
and boots and stuff.
It's like it looks kind of cool, like you're from like what the hell is that, like Mad Max or something, wherever that movie is. But it just reminds me of that. I mean, it would be like, it'd be a cool wear to have, but if you slide just right, it would kill.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the guys we ride with, Wings Are Bent, he's got a CRF, and he, like, when it's hot, he has these Metal Militia basically zip off riding pants, but you know, he still has an impact rig on top of it. He's got full MX boots. He wears a helmet, full gloves, and everything. So he gets a lot more surface area for air. but anything that's exposed is way, way lower than any sort of impact point. So
Right.
it's still not as good, but chances are if he goes down, he'll still be fine. Or, no difference from full gear, I guess.
Well, I have like one of these little mesh type things. It's like a kind of like a netting with like all kinds of elbow pads and whatnot, and it's got like elbow and chest and back pad. I mean, it's pretty good. Like it's just like it just looks like shit.
No, all you need is a hoodie, a BeRAD hoodie, and an Icon striker vest, and then you're impervious to anything.
Oh, you need a BeRAD hoodie with the counterfeit with no BeRAD logo on the front?
No, it only works if it's a legit BeRAD hoodie. Otherwise, your eyes will melt out.
Well, you see, I don't have a
your
BeRAD
dick will fall
hoodie.
off.
I have a BeRAD long sleeve and a BeRAD short sleeve.
See, if you get the BeRAD hoodie, you'll never get hurt in the first place because all of the painful things happen to me instead.
Dude, I got a really nice Carhartt long sleeve shirt. This thing feels like it's like never gonna rip. It's so thick.
I think I have a similar one. It's like an 1/8 of an inch thick at least.
Yeah. It's like a dark green long sleeve Carhartt shirt. I got it for Christmas, and this thing is like.
I bet Christmas is like the only day of year you can wear that and not just sweat profusely.
Like seriously, no. Listen, Christmas here, it was like 70 degrees.
Shut your mouth.
God damn.
I'm serious.
Well, I can't complain too much because I rode the day after Christmas. It was like 50 degrees.
Yeah, but it was like 70, if not warmer. It right now today, I think the high was like 86.
You sound like my mother.
Fuck you.
Dude, I may come to Texas a lot earlier than March.
Yeah.
Just
I get
to
this-
kick Max's ass.
I looked outside today. I'm like, oh my god, sunny, fucking nice today. I look at like the weather. It said 14 degrees. I'm like, fuck you. I'm not doing anything.
Like if my wrist heals and I can finish my van, like what's the reason of me staying around? Like I'm just wasting valuable riding time.
Here. It won't even freeze completely, so it's not like you can go ride on the ice or anything.
I know. Well, I'm not gonna spend money on ice tires anyway, since I wouldn't have enough time to utilize it.
Well, I mean, Brad, while you can, you might as well just like as soon as your wrist, like as soon as you get cleared, basically, I would just start driving. Like because I mean, you can live in your van, like.
Well, yeah, but I need to finish it first.
Well, what all do you need to do? Like that's not like that's needed.
Bike tie downs. I have to bolt all my boards into the bed frame. I have to powder coat the bed frame.
There should be like a cob tuning for it, right?
Huh?
Cob tuning?
Yeah, you get the chip for the engine.
Fucking, I'm sure you can get like 15 pounds out of it.
I mean, I would tell you like get one of those what's that thing called? Get one of those police radar type thing. It beeps at you when you're
radar detector.
Oh yeah.
Get one of those. I just got one for my truck, and it saved me 3 times or so.
There's really no reason to speed in my van.
No, like
set it up so if you go to a lat spot, you like leave the doors open. So if you hear it, like you listen and you're beep beep beep, you fucking like, oh, bail.
Just get in. No, just get into your van and close the doors. Nobody will see.
Yeah. 15 bikes, fucking cram in.
go. Scanner instead. Just put it on the PA full blast. So if there's a call about like reckless op in your area, you just like scatter.
Wait, how can you like? I've heard people like listening to a police like in like a police, I guess,
scanner
on air type thing live. How do you do that? Because I want that.
A lot of them have them broadcast online, but it's all public over the air stuff. It's not encrypted or anything. So you just need a police band radio, and it just scans through all the frequencies. And
one time I was using walkie-talkies with my friend, and this was like maybe last year or something like that. We got this set of walkie-talkies from Academy, and we were testing them out like across like a field and like across a pond. And we were fishing, and it was like a way we were going to communicate where we were going and whatnot. And then one time we were like talking about catching fish, and as soon as we stopped talking, someone like, I don't know if it was actually a cop or not, but they said like change stations or something like that because this is a police station. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if like there's some overlap, because I'm pretty sure most of them use just like Motorola handsets and stuff. So
That's like what
Well,
mine
I mean,
is.
you figure how many channels there are. I mean, who's gonna really pick like, oh, pick channel 14 or something like that? It's gonna be like 1, 2, or 3. So
Yeah.
everyone else is gonna pick 1, 2, or 3, and then you start talking. Someone else is like, I already got this channel.
I was here first.
Yeah, I was here first. We're sharing.
Yeah, I mean, like a cop like told us to change channels, and I was like, okay,
You should just be like, nah.
bro. I was so scared. I thought they were gonna like kill us or something. I was
Dude,
like,
I paid
You're
for
gonna
this. service.
triangulate your radio signal and just swoop in with the black helicopters.
yeah, I mean, I mean, we weren't really doing anything wrong. We were talking about fish and like where we were gonna change positions and whatnot. But like,
Much like fish and wildlife come in, because
I think we
at
started
least
talking
around
about like
here,
pussy, but like,
oh Jesus, around here you're not supposed to use like radios or phones or anything when you're hunting, because it's like unsportsmanlike or something, or they're worried about poachers. But for fishing, I'm guessing you were basically just squatting on their frequency they all use. Brad, do you have the CB all tuned up in the van?
No, it's sitting right next to me, untouched.
Do you have your trucker name figured out?
I figure his call sign or whatever could be like, his handle could be like One Wheel or something.
you could be like, I hate the dark color or something like that.
What?
Have you ever listened to Channel 19?
No.
There's plenty of it.
I think your trucker name should be Candy Cane.
That would be a good idea.
Cane.
Or you could call it Little Hole.
Tight. Your name is just Tight.
Tidy Whitey.
Tidy Whitey.
Tidy Whitey. That's a good one.
Your name is Be Gentle.
Hey, Tidy Whitey here.
I don't know. It'll be kind of like one of the last things I put in there.
Does your van have a warranty on it?
Yes.
Can we void the warranty with mods?
No.
Tuning.
Well, like what voids the warranty? Like, does a light bar void the warranty?
No, like an exhaust or a tune.
Yeah, any power tuning or anything.
Some tunes will. It's anything that can be traced for the most
Like
part.
exhaust can be like. What if you got like a?
I wouldn't say exhaust because you can easily unbolt it.
Exhaust affects it affects your
short term. It affects the short term tuning. So if you put the stock exhaust on before it goes to the dealer, it'll short term tune it back to the original. Because you have short term and long term tuning.
Shit. Well, I'm gonna have to order a stock exhaust because I chopped off my old muffler and I welded on a Flowmaster that I got for like $80.
Yeah, if you're welding, they're probably gonna figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, I have I literally ordered an exhaust.
or anything that they can physically see, then they're gonna be like, yeah, we're not gonna accept your warranty. They're gonna do something.
I know some of them, it's like they have a certain color in the antifreeze and other oils, so if they go to change it and it's a different color, they know that you didn't use the approved whatever, and they'll be like, nah, your warranty's fucked.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
I have an exhaust that I ordered it and I said, you know what, just don't ship it to me, just refund me, because they took like straight up 3 months to even get back to me. I was like, you know what, just don't worry about it, just pay me back. And they sent me the exhaust still, but they gave me my money back.
Nice.
So I was like, I just have the exhaust sitting in my garage, and I'm wondering if that's gonna void the warranty if I put it on, because like I have that that Flowmaster on there and it looks like god awful, but it sounds amazing. And I'm thinking, like, do you think that they would void the warranty if I put that exhaust back? Like,
Check up on the forums, man, because like how much time or how many miles do you have left in the limited warranty?
Well, this is the thing. My warranty, it's a warranty forever.
Oh, okay. As long as you own it.
Yeah, it's like I got it because of that. I was like, oh shit, like forever warranty. Like I could use that, you know.
What vehicle is it?
It's a Tacoma, 2016 Tacoma.
Okay.
That thing will never break down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, I just know like the way
At
that
least
I
it's
drive it.
plastic now. At least it won't rust like they used to.
Dude, I have a 20-year-old Tacoma, and I must have lucked out because there is almost no rust on it.
Weren't you talking about my Tacoma the other day?
Yeah, I was like drooling over your Tacoma on Facebook.
Yeah, I was like, all right, I got myself another taco, buddy.
I used to have an '06 one, and I blew a head gasket on it only because it had been in 2 front end crashes and at least 3 radiators.
Yeah.
So yeah, it probably just warped the head. And
I think it'd
Yeah,
be
my
badass to have. It'd be badass to have a pink Tacoma. Then you can say, "I'm gonna slide into my pink taco."
I mean, honestly, I could have got the 4-wheel drive Tacoma, but I was like this, the one that I got, it was so beautiful, I had to have it. Like I saw it, I was like, dude, and it's got like a warranty forever, like
Yeah, I think either 2015 or 2016 was the first year for the 3rd gen. I saw something
Yes.
that they had like a GoPro mount molded into
Yeah,
the
mine does.
interior.
It's got a
Wow.
GoPro mount.
Is
It's
it
on
like
the windshield. Like you can, if
what
you look
happens
up
when it
2016,
snaps?
it doesn't. It won't. It's like molded.
Okay, so it's not like the standard just GoPro plastic.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I think it is, but it's not gonna snap. Like I guarantee it won't.
Is it like behind your rear view or?
It's okay. Look up 2016 Tacoma. I'll just screen share really quick.
All right.
All right.
Have
Can
we
you
scared off all of Brad's subs by talking about Japanese trucks?
Who cares?
Probably.
All right. Do you see what I'm looking at?
Yeah.
This is the GoPro mount.
Oh, okay.
That's weird.
It's oh shit.
I just
It's
use a
right there.
I mean,
suction
that's nice. I mean, at least it's not really in the way for the driver or passenger.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool. Like it's cool, but the thing about my Tacoma, see how this one's got like leather and all that shit? It's got like the highest package. Mine is
Yeah.
like, let me find it. 2016 Tacoma cloth, which is kind of weird. It's
Orange?
got, yeah,
In
it's
a-
got an orange accent.
Isn't it like a navy blue or a deep blue?
No,
Or is it
my truck
black?
is black. It's a black on
Okay,
black
so it's
truck.
just a picture it with blue.
Yeah, yeah. This is what the interior looks like.
Oh.
It's got an orange, like an
But
orange
it's like
dash
one
panel.
thing is orange.
Yeah, and then also the stitching in the seats, and that's it.
Goofy.
So it's just kind of random, but I'm like, I'm not really bothered by it because I don't really notice it. I'm thinking about
Yeah.
painting it because you can take it off. So I'm gonna take it off and paint it probably like black or blue or something, depending on what I want to make the accent color on the truck.
Make sure it's like a good sticky paint because I've seen people use like cheap spray paint and it chips off right away.
Yeah, like
Something
this.
for plastic.
Let's see. I've got.
Oh, we're gonna see all this porn.
Yeah, definitely. I've got some cool pictures of it. Right. Here's one. This is the outside of my truck with that pretty license plate.
I was gonna say you got the vanity plate.
And then I don't think I have any interior shots of it, but it's just a like I don't know if you can hear the I don't think you can hear a video on screen share, but
No, you'd have to put your mic by the speakers. Here's what you
Yeah.
need to do. You need to lift it. Well, you need 4-wheel drive. You need to lift it. You need to put it on 35s. You need a diamond plate chrome toolbox with dual CB antennas, and then put a bunch of like international and cat stickers all over the back window, and then you'll be a real badass.
it's got well, I mean, it's got a 4-inch lift with 33s, so I mean, it's nice, you know, like
You need a full tin of chew in your bottom lip at all times.
Yes, and it has to be grizzly winter green.
and I also have to have
Open
like
that
a set of boots right here jammed in between the
Yeah.
tailgate and the truck. You ever
Need a
seen that?
roof rack. Dude, most of my classes are by the diesel tech portion of my community college. It is nothing but that. It's like you live 10 miles outside of a city with 300,000 people in it. You're not a goddamn redneck. Sit down.
Yeah, my new camera, I finally figured out how to convert them into JPEG files. But like these pictures are beautiful.
Get Lightroom.
I got some. I mean, like I got this thing. I mean, I pay like
Lightroom,
Yeah.
$5 a year. What's Lightroom?
the best photo editing program you'll ever get.
Look
It's
at
an
this.
Adobe program. It handles raw files beautifully. You can organize, rate, all that stuff, change the metadata, and also edit them and then save them as JPEG.
Like, look how beautiful this picture is, and that like, I like. I mean, I have
Nice
some
pussy.
skill, but like, yeah. And then I have my little
What
110.
camera body is that?
It's the Canon Rebel T6i.
You fancy. I got a T3i.
Yeah, I saw that. Like, it was like a whole deal with like a bunch of shit on Amazon. I was like, oh, dude, I gotta get this because I
Here,
wanted
hang
a
on.
DSLR for one.
Let's see if I can do this without doing a face reveal.
Oh, there it is. Oh, I got excited.
Here, we'll go down here and then.
Just get some electrical. I can't see it. Put your face next up to it. I can't see it.
It's funny because I normally
Point
do
with
have a
your
piece of
nose.
electrical tape over my webcam.
Point with your nose and have your tongue hang out. I can't see it.
That was pretty
Man.
cool. I want to have like a lens, like or a like a lens like that, because I have like the lens that came with it. It's a I think it's something
18 to 55.
Yeah, that one. I want to get the 75 to 300.
Here's the thing. You know how, and I know Brad knows as well, how comparatively small the Canon Rebel body is. I rented a 400 millimeter telephoto lens for a week. Good Lord, did that look hilarious. Because including the lens hood, it was like 2.5 feet long.
Whoa.
Well, maybe not quite 2.5, but it was ridiculous. And it had this 500 gram camera on it.
Yeah, but I think it takes like 24 megapixel pictures.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Brad and I will bastardize you into the world of full frame.
But I just like it took me a while to actually like kind of figure out how to use it. But I mean, like I just kind of set it on raw, like it would take pictures raw.
Do you have it in P for professional mode?
I don't know how to. I don't know.
Yes, it's set for W for Wombo.
Thank you for making that reference.
Shit, I thought you were being serious. Like I really didn't know.
Well, P mode, anything lower than P mode on the dial, just avoid it completely. That's my advice.
All right.
Learn how to use manual exposure and learn your exposure triangle and all that. It'll make your life better.
I don't know shit about cameras. I wish I did though.
I'm a cool guy. I took community college classes about digital photography while I listen to NPR.
I think I'm gonna go and.
Not coming at all.
I think I'm gonna go into college for like petroleum engineering.
Thanks a lot, guys. Good luck.
Who said that?
What?
It looked like it came from you.
Me?
Yeah, like when I heard it, your little voice thingy was.
That's weird. I think it was Brad. He's probably watching porn or something back there.
Actually, funny thing, I'm watching a video. It's titled "Ex's Kiss for the First Time in Years." It showed up on my Facebook. So it's like high school, and then didn't see each other. Now they're kissing each other again. It's weird.
Yeah, I watched some video on BuzzFeed the other day, and it was like girls that are thick find leggings that fit them. It was literally like some 300-pound chick that wasn't even like good looking. It was just like it could have been like the title could have been like fat chick fits in fucking rubber
Stop
bands.
fat shaming. You're gonna trigger me.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I think we're all getting to the point to where we're just getting tired and saying random bullshit.
Dude, I
Probably.
not paying attention at all to what's going on. I'm watching.
I kind of figured because like I was even talking about cameras and stuff, and you were silent. Like I tried to at least semi reroute the conversation onto something that you like, because I know I was like derailing completely.
I'm just pretty tired in general.
I've been trying to keep track of the chat, but my phone died, so.
Your bedtime isn't for like another 5 hours, Brad.
Yeah, I woke up at 3 p.m. again today.
See?
Wow, sounds rough.
But I'm up until late, much later than that, a.m.
At least 2 times a week, I'm up 30 hours.
Pussy.
So you could be like live streaming you working on the van.
Yeah. I mean, last night I didn't even. Well, actually, okay, yeah. I guess I was at the shop until like 2 a.m.
All right, wait. I'm gonna head out. I'm getting too tired for
Yeah,
this.
I might end it here anyway.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay.
Later.
See you.
Okay. To
Bye.
everyone in the side chat, thank you so much
I'm
for
gonna stay
stopping in
talking.
and watching. And
Bye.
in 3, 2, 1, I'm gonna stop it. 3, 2.
Bye!